How are you doing? Okay, all right. How was your day? All right. So thanks a lot for joining in today for this webinar on advanced CSIR net preparation tools and techniques. And this webinar is very special, and I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for joining in. This webinar is very crucial for those students who want to study more in less hours. This webinar is very crucial for those who want to crack CSIR net sure shot. So this webinar is for those who think they are smart students, who can use these tools and techniques, who can implement change, because without change nothing is possible. So before I get started, just wanted to know, is my audio clear? Crystal clear? Is my audio crystal clear? Please type yes in the comment box. Is my screen clear? Okay, so I hope I am visible to all of you. All right, great. Thanks a lot for the confirmation. Now, why I am going to tell you these important tips and tricks is because your success is very crucial to me. Okay, at Biotechnica, we are on a mission to help and nurture every life science student, every life science researcher who wants to build a strong career in life sciences. You see, life science industry today is the savior in this lockdown, right? So how many cases has been there today so far? Right. So you can see that so many people are falling sick because of this coronavirus. Only life science researchers are coming to the rescue. ICMR, CSIR labs, DRDO labs, right? All these labs are coming together. But who is working in these labs are people like you, who once upon a time qualified these exams. And that is why this webinar and all of you are very special to me. I want to make sure that your success happens this June or December. I want this to happen, and this is my mission. At Biotechnica, every student who enrolls is very special. In fact, very recently we started our crash course just on 17th of April. So this particular crash course, or for that matter any student who enrolls at Biotechnica, in fact many of you are our students already attending our webinar, yes. So I personally check on them. Because I know how crucial all of you are, how crucial your role is in the society. See, anybody can earn money, but the kind of work, the value which you all are going to add to the society after qualifying this exam is uncomparable. It is not, we cannot really compare, right? And that is why I decided to work on this PowerPoint, and I've been working since past 1 month. In fact, the last time I met you was 31st of March, if you remember. So from that day till date, and in fact even before that, I've been thinking and planning for this webinar, because if I'm able to give you the advanced tools, techniques and tips and tricks, then only you can qualify this exam, because the competition is heating up. Is that not right? What was the cutoff? Tell me. Please type the last cutoff in comment box, all of you. Let me see if you remember the cutoff. You do? Okay. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. The problem which is faced by all of us is right on your screen right now. Okay. So this is the problem all of us are facing when we are preparing for this exam, right? So with using these advanced tools and techniques, we're going to address all those problems. But before I jump into the problem and the solution, let me warn you, this is not for average student. This is for smart students who know how to implement theory into practical. Okay, so we are going to make sure that the next 2 hours are really power packed, but we will not succeed if you guys do not pay attention. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to make sure that you are in a good mood and you are in attentive mood, you are focused throughout this webinar. Okay, and then only you will be able to understand the complex concepts which we are going to showcase today. So let me tell the basic problems which every student faces, whether you are a topper or whether you are a normal student. So what are the problems which you face? The first and basic problem is we all have this mood problem, right? Don't feel like studying all the time, right? So that's the biggest problem. In fact, when I asked for this registration form, everybody wrote, okay, I have this problem, that problem. Many people wrote that how to make sure that I am in a mood to study, right? So that's one of the problems, and I'm going to address that also. Also, this is the second point which I'm showing you on my screen right now. Now these are like general study tips and tricks we always talk about, but in this webinar it's going to be very, very crucial. We will be talking about this also. So which books to study from, which teachers, and how many hours. That's very, very crucial. How many hours I should study, right? Again, now how much ever you plan, what you do in the exam, this is another problem which we all face, right? So managing time during the exam, that's very, very crucial. Then the stress management before the exam, during the exam, right? And all these months, the next 2 months are going to be full of stress, plus the coronavirus stress, right? So all this stress is adding on. So I want to address even those today in this webinar. And of course, my colleague Mrs. Urmimala, when she joins, she'll be talking in detail about how to avoid deadly mistakes, how to make sure that the common traps of CSIR net exam you don't fall into. And if we have to do that, then please attend this webinar till the end. Now, why you should be attending this webinar till the end? Because of course it is going to be eye-opener, but yes, at the end we are going to give you surprise gifts. Okay, I've already told you last time also, I gave you a lot of surprise gifts in my last webinar. Even this time a special gift awaits for all of you. So do not miss out, do not leave the webinar in the middle. Okay, now if in case you are watching this recording later, note down all the points which I am going to tell you today and revise those again. Okay, so all of you, are you ready with your pen and paper? Because the notes which I'm going to give you today are going to be very, very crucial. Are you ready? If you are ready, then just type in the comment box, bring it on. Okay, BIO, just type BIO or bring it on, right? Biology is our subject, so let's say bio, bring it on. Okay, shall I? Okay, perfect. So today I am going to share with you two crucial theories. Okay, now what are those theories? I'll be telling you a little later, but apart from that, those two theories and their practical application, I'm also going to talk about tips and observations, okay, which we have observed after training thousands of students for these competitive exams. Okay, now these competitive exams are no joke, okay, and we have been, Biotechnica has been trying to help so many students qualify, right? So many students have already qualified with the help of Biotechnica. I'm sure you have seen the testimonial. So when we observe how they prepare, and when we observe what are the common mistakes which they make, so these are the things which I'm going to share. Okay, now the first theory of the day is popularly called as 80-20 principle. How many of you are aware of that? Please type in the comment box. Are you aware of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 principle? If you are aware, that's really great. Okay, yes, you are aware. Fantastic. All right, so many of you are not aware, I can see that, no problem. So I'm going to explain you the Pareto principle or 80-20 rule in a short while, and also I'm going to tell you its application on your studies. Okay, now what really goes wrong with all these rules and theories is we end up thinking that these are just theories, they cannot be applied to our exam, but that is wrong. We can apply these theories to our exams very well. Okay, now what exactly is the Pareto principle? So it says that a minority or a small number of causes leads to a majority of effects. Okay, so basically Pareto was a scientist, or you can say an economist, who was observing this data set, and he found out that okay, the 20% of rich people owned 80% of land in Italy, something like that. So that's what Pareto principle is all about. And then he applied this principle to various data sets, and he found out that it is applicable almost everywhere. Okay, now let me simplify this for you. This rule says that a majority of whatever we achieve in our life, no matter if it is CSIR net exam, it comes from a minority of whatever we do. Now let me give you some examples. So a few examples you can see on your screen right now. Now 20% of the criminals, this one is my favorite, 20% of the criminals in an area result in 80% of the crime in an area. Okay, and that's how police keep track of all the known criminals in an area. Same with the drivers, 20% of the drivers lead to 80% of cases of accident in a city. The same with the second point, which very less people among you will be aware, that the top 20% of smart students actually cause the cutoff to go very high, and that is why majority of the average students fail. Okay, so that's where the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule is already applicable in your life. Okay, and that's what we are very much aware, and we have been implementing this rule and all the practical aspects of this Pareto principle, which I am going to show you a little later in all our courses, and that really helps. Okay, now let us take the very recent example. Now this particular data I took like I think 5-7 days ago, because you know things keeps changing. So what happened is we took this data and observed that 20% of the Indian states, right, 20% of the Indian states cause 80% of the COVID-19 cases. Do you agree with me? Right, exactly. So which are those states? Can you find out on the map? Of course, Maharashtra. Yes, we have Maharashtra. So what else we have? We have Kerala. Yes, Kerala was also there. We have Rajasthan, we have Delhi, we have Uttar Pradesh, right? We have Telangana, right? So these are the few states, or say 20% of the states, like 6 states, which are accounting for 80% of the cases. Now this data I took like I think 5 or 7 days ago. If you go and see the today's scenario also, it is applicable. So what I want to make a point here is, we are already being governed by the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule, but we are not realizing that. But what if you could apply your Pareto principle to your exam preparation? Will that not be great? And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to show you today. Now 20% of effort leads to 80% of result, or rather I would say a little bit of changes in how you prepare for the exam can actually make you qualify the exam, right? How many of you want to qualify this exam? For sure. All of you? That's right. All of us want to qualify this exam, but if we have to qualify, I want you to do slight changes in how you prepare, and that's what is this rule all about. Now, generally what do we think? We think that 100% of effort leads to 100% of result. So that means that, okay, I'll study for 24 hours, I'll definitely qualify the exam. Does that happen? No, it doesn't happen. So, my dear friends, you have to understand that all things don't have the same value. For example, all the videos of CSIR net on YouTube don't have the same value. Some may be good, some may be bad, right? You have to pick and choose which are good, correct? The same thing is applicable here. Now, if you think that you can cover 100% of the syllabus and then you'll qualify the exam with 100% marks, is that true? No, it's not true. The same with your 100% of studying time. You study 24 hours, you cannot qualify. These are the things which you have to understand. The truth is, your 80% of exam preparation is being held back by 20% of the causes. Those causes may be because of your habit. Those causes may be because where you study. Those causes may be the books which you chose. Those causes may be the coaching institute you chose. Okay, there can be numerous small reasons, right? But don't get governed by Pareto principle. If you want to do that, then you need to understand. So what you can do is you can multiply your exam preparation speed using the Pareto principle. Now how can you multiply your exam preparation speed? Now how many days are left in your exam? Hardly 60 days, right? And if the lockdown gets extended, maybe the exam may get postponed. We don't know that, but we know one thing, that definitely we have 60 days, right? So if we have 60 days, how can we multiply or make our preparation speed 2x or 3x, 3 times or 4 times better? Okay, some people are requesting me to talk in Hindi. So yes, मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन since it will be little, I'll slow it down in that case. So I'll try to make it Hindi and English. Is that okay? All right. So देखिए, परेटो प्रिंसिपल जो आपके सामने इस वक्त है, अगर आप अपना एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन को स्पीड को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, इफ यू वांट टू इंक्रीज योर स्पीड, तो आप परेटो प्रिंसिपल का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. कैसे कर सकते हैं वो मैं आपको इस वक्त दिखाने वाला हूं. नाउ द वार्निंग विच आई वांट टू टेल फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू, मैं एक वार्निंग आप सबको देना चाहता हूं कि प्लीज परेटो प्रिंसिपल के इस एडवांस्ड वर्जन का इस्तेमाल, डू नॉट यूज दिस in the absence of expert guidance. Okay, this is very, very crucial. If you're going to use Pareto principle, the advanced form of Pareto principle, which I'm going to show you now, then you need expert guidance, and that's what we do at Biotechnica. We will be there for you to support you in this. Right now, आप बताइए मुझे कि एग्जाम कैसे चलता है, हाउ एग्जैक्टली एग्जाम वर्क्स. ओके, एग्जाम में आप क्या करते हो, एफर्ट डालते हो, मेहनत करते हो, और आपकी सही स्ट्रैटेजी होनी चाहिए. यू मस्ट हैव द राइट एफर्ट्स एंड द राइट स्ट्रैटेजी, एंड दैट्स व्हाट लीड्स टू द रिजल्ट. एम आई राइट? क्या ऐसा ही होता है? यस. तो एग्जाम का में सक्सेस का एक ही इक्वेशन है, और वो आपके सामने इस वक्त स्क्रीन पे है कि एफर्ट प्लस स्ट्रैटेजी लीड्स टू results, right? So now we have two variables here. Okay, the effort and the strategy. Do we have any control on results? No, we don't have, because the cutoff may vary, but what we have in control is our effort and our strategy, right? We will apply Pareto principle to both of them. Now have a look at the screen. What do you see? The benefit of Pareto principle on aspirants is you can actually improve the quality of studying by applying this principle. You can actually improve the efficiency of your study hours. Okay, you can improve the strategy using Pareto principle. I'm going to come to all this in detail a little later, but I'm trying to help you analyze कि कहाँ आप इस principle का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो, where and all you can use this principle. Right, thank you. So now you can also reduce, आप अपने एफर्ट को रिड्यूस कर सकते हो. काफ़ी लोग सोचते हैं कि अगर ज़्यादा मेहनत करेंगे तो क्वालिफाई कर जाएंगे. ऐसा नहीं है, स्मार्ट मेहनत करना पड़ता है, और वो आप कर सकते हो इफ़ यू अप्लाई परेटो प्रिंसिपल टू योर एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन. सेम विद द बोर्डम. कई बार क्या होता है, आप पढ़ रहे हो, यू गेट बोर्ड. सो इफ़ यू गेटिंग बोर्ड, हाउ डू यू रिड्यूस बोर्डम? Okay, even that can be addressed using Pareto principle. Of course, the time of studying. Let me tell you, अभी हम why exactly we always choose 7 o'clock for your webinar. The reason is आप 7 बजे के लगभग में फ्री होते हो. The same way हम कह सकते हैं कि आप किस टाइम पर सबसे ज़्यादा attentive होते हो. At what time you are most attentive? Tell me. Now, for every person it varies. Somebody it can be 4 o'clock in the morning. Somebody can be रात को 9 बजे. सबका समय अलग होता है. तो you can analyze all this using Pareto principle. Now, let us apply your Pareto principle to exam preparation. This is the slide I was talking about. Now, 20% of your effort, 20% आपके मेहनत का, आपके एग्जाम का चेहरा 80% बदल सकता है. आप या तो क्वालिफाई कर जाओगे या नहीं कर पाओगे. इसका डिसीजन फैक्टर एक्चुअली परेटो प्रिंसिपल गवर्न करता है. 20% ऑफ योर स्ट्रैटेजीज एक्चुअली लीड टू 80% ऑफ योर मार्क्स. सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होती है, याद रखना. ओके, सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होती है, राइट? क्या इंपॉर्टेंट होता है? How do you qualify this exam? The most important thing, these are the things which we have to keep in mind. Now, normally what you do, you end up wasting 80% of your study time on useless strategies which get you only 20% of the marks. Okay, are you realizing that now? अगर आप सोचने बैठोगे, if you start thinking, आप realize करोगे कि हर समय आप इक्वली इफेक्टिव स्टडी नहीं कर रहे होते हो. You don't study all the time efficiently, right? Sometimes you'll be very efficient, sometimes you'll be not so efficient, right? So that's what you have to analyze using this. Now, so far we understood Pareto principle, that what I can do, I can analyze my marks and understand where exactly I'm lacking and then work on those, right? Then of course the strategies, not every strategy is important. In the same way, 80% of the time we may be ending up wasting our time. Now अब मैं यहाँ पर आपको एक दूसरी थ्योरी के बारे में बताऊंगा, chaos theory. Now chaos theory एक बहुत ही popular theory है, which I'm sure you must have heard of. Have you heard of it? Yes. So chaos theory बहुत ही important theory है. We are going to show you that. Now in generally what do we think? We think that A causes B, right? अगर हम खाना खाते हैं तो भूख खत्म हो जाती है. If we eat, we don't feel hungry. That's what A causes B. In normally what do we think? B causes C. अगर हम ज़्यादा खाना खाते हैं, we become fat, right? A plus C leads to D. मतलब कि अगर ज़्यादा fat rich diet लोगे तो आप definitely obese हो जाओगे. So this is what generally how we think, right? लेकिन in real world ऐसा नहीं होता है कई बार. Okay, that's what chaos theory says. So chaos theory says that it is very difficult to pinpoint the cause which leads to a result. Okay, and it also says that there is no linear relationship. It is not that A leads to B. Okay, that's what chaos theory says. For example, it's not because of China the whole world is suffering from coronavirus. The whole world was also not careful, right? So that's what chaos theory, actually there is chaos in the world, so I gave you example of chaos theory, but that's what. So this is what is chaos theory. Now the relationship between these two theories is very close. Okay, now the universe is not a straight line. Okay, the universe is unbalanced. That means ki if you just change 20% of your effort, strategy, then definitely your results will change. Okay, and that is what these two theories tell you. Now these are very high level theories which I hope you have understood. Have you understood? Yes? Okay, very intelligent people I have. Okay, somebody has not understood there, no problem. So you can watch this recording again, otherwise you can just email me and I will talk to you in detail, no problem. Yes, I will share my email ID also. In fact, all of you will have my email ID already, right? तो यही relationship है हमारे बीच में कि हम our relationship is definitely linear. आपको कुछ भी doubt है तो you can always email the CEO of Biotechnica, that is for sure. But yes, the world is not linear, the universe is unbalanced. अभी हम आपको एक एग्जाम्पल देंगे. नाउ टॉपर्स कीप स्कोरिंग हायर. ओके, टॉपर्स कीप स्कोरिंग हायर एंड गेटिंग स्मार्टर व्हाइल द एवरेज स्टूडेंट, हमारे आपके जैसे स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं, दे कीप थिंकिंग कि हमसे पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. हमें लगता है कि वी विल नेवर बी एबल टू क्वालिफाई द एग्जाम. ओके, बट एक्चुअली ऐसा नहीं है. नाउ व्हाई डू आई से दैट? बिकॉज यू आर नॉट अप्लाइंग Pareto principle and chaos theory in your preparation. Now this is what differentiates a topper from a mediocre student. The first thing is attitude. If you keep thinking that you cannot qualify, you will definitely not qualify. So first thing is believe that you will qualify. The second thing is this concept actually comes out from the epidemic theory. So right now what is happening? There is a pandemic across the world. So in pandemic what happens? A low level of coronavirus outbreak has turned into a global health crisis right now. Now why did that happen? Because initially they could not break the chain. That's what in India we did. So we are in a better position right now from the world, right? So this is what happens. So initial advantage, if you have the topper of the exam has an initial advantage. Do you know that? Because he's habituated to be a topper all the time. He was topper of his +2, topper of his BSc, gold medalist in MSc. So he has this mindset that I'm gonna top. So that is one thing which you have to put into yourself. Don't think that if your marks was less in your masters or bachelors, you're not going to qualify. Definitely you will. Okay, so you have to understand that. Just like coronavirus. See, coronavirus had an initial advantage, it spread. Same way, as a topper, you have to think, you have to keep in your mind that you have this initial advantage already. Now, the behavior of epidemic is what? Non-linear. Same way, your exam preparation can be non-linear. How? Let us see. Now, there is something called as tipping point. Okay. Now, tipping point is wherein small changes such as bringing down the new infection of COVID-19 to 30,000 from 40,000 can have huge effects. Now you will say how this is related to your exam preparation. Let me tell you that. Now it all depends on how and when the changes are made. Now अगर आप आज वो changes लाते हो अपनी strategy में, if you make those changes in your exam preparation, you will see the benefit, and that's what India did. So the third point which you are seeing right now, India acted before United States. It stopped the tipping point from happening. ठीक है, सो दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. आपका टिपिंग पॉइंट पता है कब आएगा? जब एग्जाम में सिर्फ 30 दिन बचे होंगे, राइट? ओनली 30 days विल बी देयर फॉर एग्जाम एंड यू विल पैनिक, right? Or maybe 45 days. In fact, many of you are already panicked, right? Don't be panicked. So first important thing, don't cross that tipping point. Okay, आप अपने आप को पहले ही रोक सकते हो. You can stop yourself before crossing that tipping point. Okay, now sensitive dependence on initial conditions. आप कहाँ बैठ के पढ़ते हो? Where do you sit and study? Okay, what time you study? Okay, which books you choose to study from have a long lasting impact on how your preparation will happen to. Okay, many people will say this is common sense, right? No, this is all being followed by the chaos theory and the which theory? Chaos theory and yes, that's right. Now what happens? First has a long lasting impact. So जो भी पहले होता है उसका long lasting impact होता है. तो अगर आप सुबह से ही पढ़ना स्टार्ट करते हो, अगर अच्छे तरीके से स्टार्ट कर लिए हो, तो डेफिनेटली होल डे यू विल बी एबल टू स्टडी प्रॉपर्ली. बट अगर सुबह में मूड खराब हो गया, आप नहीं पढ़ सकते हो. Does that happen to you? Yes. The same thing happens with the topper. टॉपर क्या होता है? वो हर टाइम शुरू से ही ज़्यादा स्कोर कर रहा होता है, उसको कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड होता है, राइट? सो उसको ही हैज़ ऑलरेडी गॉट दैट इनिशियल लीड, राइट? एंड दैट्स व्हाट यू डोंट हैव. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज यू हैव टू थिंक फ्रॉम द टॉपर्स माइंडसेट. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द टॉपर्स माइंडसेट? ही थिंक्स दैट ही इज ऑलरेडी विनिंग एंड ही स्टडीज फ्रॉम अ टॉपर्स perspective. He will not try to just qualify the exam, he'll try to top the exam, right? That's called the topper mindset. Now it is, and it keeps getting better. So initial conditions में आप अगर changes लाओगे अपनी पढ़ाई में, या तो आज से ही ला सकते हो, from today only you can bring those changes, or you can do it from tomorrow, no problem, but these changes are going to have a huge impact. Now you will have to break the trend. Break the trend मतलब, suppose right now I am sitting here and there is a lot of noise, so can I study? Possibly I cannot study. So what I have to do? I have to change my study schedule, right? Same way, right now suppose I had my dinner and now I cannot be much more active, so of course I have to change my strategy. I should not be studying late at night, right? So these are the few things. So that's what is called round keg for a round hole, square keg for a square hole. अगर hole square है तो क्या आप उसमें triangular डाल सकते हो? It will not go, right? So you have to have the perfect fit. So you have to identify the time when you are least productive and sleepy, okay? And don't study at that time. Identify the time when you are most productive and study at that point in time, right? Now obviously this is all, you can say, common sense, but no, you are not analyzing your day from the Pareto principle perspective. Okay, write down from 6 to 7 a.m., 7 to 10 a.m., like that. Write the slots and find out which are the slots where you are most productive and most active and most studious. Only study those much of time. Do not study all the time. What all of us do mistake is we end up studying 8 hours or 12 hours a day. Smart students don't do that. Okay, now you have to break the trend by innovating a better method of learning and retaining. Okay, now how can we do that, right? That can be done if you analyze what is the best 20% causes which is leading to 80% of the results. For example, अगर आप पढ़ रहे हो, right? So why do you memorize some topics better than other topics? Write it down, note it down, and try to implement that for those things which are boring for you. Okay? For example, many people say ecology boring है sir, botany boring है आपके लिए, right? So if that is happening, so now analyze, is that scoring? No, remove it. Okay, that's what you have to do. Now some quick tips I'm going to give you now. Look for important topics instead of studying the whole syllabus. This is very much important. And also look for that 20% of the syllabus जहाँ से ज़्यादा questions आते हैं, from where you get maximum questions. Okay, now you have to exercise control over your studying hours also. if you are studying in a quiet place majority of the time, then your productivity will be very high. ठीक है, मैं मूड पे आऊँगा, आई विल कम टू द मूड पार्ट. येस आई नो बोरिंग हो जाता है कभी कभी, स्टडिंग बोरिंग हो जाता है. आई विल कम टू दैट, डोंट वरी. सो राइट नाउ यू हैव टू एक्सरसाइज कंट्रोल ऑन वेयर यू स्टडी. आप लॉकडाउन में हो, घर में सभी लोग हैं, एवरीबडी इज देयर, सो एवरीबडी इज वॉकिंग अराउंड वॉचिंग टीवी एंड नाउ यू नॉट एबल टू फोकस. सो फाइंड दैट प्लेस इन योर हाउस. आई एम श्योर देयर मस्ट बी अ प्लेस वेयर यू कैन सिट क्वाइट and study. Right now, let us come to the next. Strive for excellence in a few units instead of trying to master the entire syllabus. आपको पता है CSIR नेट एक डिसीजन गेम होता है. CSIR नेट is a decision game. It is not about covering syllabus. जो भी इंसान आज तक गया कि मैं पूरा सिलेबस पढ़ के जाऊंगा, वो डेफिनेटली गारंटीड फेल हुआ है. राइट, ये मैं गारंटी लेता हूँ. कोई भी इंसान कभी भी 100% सिलेबस कवर नहीं कर सकता, और अगर करेगा तो उसको 8 साल लग जाएंगे. okay, but what exactly is needed here is you have to strive for excellence in a few units. Okay, now choose your study hours with extraordinary care. Remember, when you are studying, nobody is allowed to enter your study room when you are studying. You have to make it like that. In your house also, instruct everybody, hey people, please help me, I want to qualify this exam, so I am studying for the next 2 hours. Nobody enters my room. Okay, tell everybody in your house or the hostel room, wherever you are. Now at first only study things which you are best at. अच्छा बताओ, all of you tell me which topic you love the most from the CSIR and syllabus. Which particular unit you love the most? Molecular biology? Okay, cell biology. Right. Okay, somebody has written ecology. Okay, right. Okay, methods in biology. All right. So there are a lot of you can see everybody has different choices. So my advice to you is look for important topics. Do not try to excel everything. Pick and choose, be a specialist, then a generalist, and study only those topics first and become a master of it. इतना बड़ा मास्टर बन जाओ उस टॉपिक का कि रात को 2 बजे भी आपको कोई उठा के पूछे तो आप आंसर कर सकते हो. You have to become such an expert that even if midnight, 2 o'clock, if also somebody wakes you up and asks a theory or a concept from that topic or your unit, you should be able to tell it. Okay, it should be imbibed in your subconscious. Right now, to summarize, you have to calm down, work less, and target a limited number of very valuable topics and units, right, where 80-20 principle will work for you rather than pursuing the entire syllabus. ये summary हो गई आपकी. I have told you this. Now in the meanwhile I can see a lot of people are asking questions कि कौन सी unit important है. So definitely आप question पूछिए chat में and our experts are there, they will answer you, no problem there. Is that okay? Perfect. So आप क्वेश्चन पूछते जाइए और सुनते जाइए. whatever I'm telling you, it will be very very important and helpful, because on one hand whatever queries you have you can ask in chat, and while I am presenting and giving you all these details. Now quickly remember, मैंने स्टार्टिंग में बोला था, initially I told you combined small causes momentous effect. like आप कहाँ पढ़ते हो, क्या पढ़ते हो, कौन से बुक से पढ़ते हो, कौन सी कोचिंग से पढ़ते हो, कौन से टीचर से पढ़ते हो, उसका इफेक्ट आपके एग्जाम रिजल्ट पे होता है. Have I told you that? Yes. अब एग्जाम्पल ले लो बॉइलिंग मिल्क का. मिल्क में क्या होता है? इफ़ यू आर बॉइलिंग मिल्क, व्हेन यू आर हीटिंग इट एट अ सर्टेन टेम्परेचर, इट स्टार्ट्स बबलिंग अप, दूध उबलने लगता है, इट स्टार्ट्स कमिंग आउट. सो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू एट वन मोमेंट, इफ वी जस्ट स्विच ऑफ द स्टोव एंड टेक द मिल्क, वी कैन एक्चुअली मेक अ कैपेचिनो फ्रॉम दैट हॉट मिल्क. एम आई राइट? आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट बी लॉन्गिंग फॉर अ कैपेचिनो, राइट? Okay, right. So now, but if you delay, if you forget to switch off, then all that spill happens, right, on your stove, right? लड़कियों को पता होगा, if they have or almost all of you must have boiled milk in your life. This is what happens, right? This is exactly what happens with our life, my dear friends. Okay, हमारा लाइफ भी बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है. अगर सही टाइम पे हमने स्टोव ऑफ नहीं किया है तो हम बॉयल हो जाते हैं, right? And that's very very important. So your mood to study also operates in a non-linear way. मतलब कि एक पल को, the next minute you are full enthusiastic that you want to study, the next minute you don't feel like studying, right? So it works in a non-linear. Sometimes it is fully energetic, and suddenly somebody gives you bad news. Oh, do you know Maharashtra 2000 people are sick from coronavirus, and then now your mood is gone. Correct? So these kind of things happen. Now your mood is dependent on multiple small things, right? your mood is dependent on multiple small but exciting things. आपको याद है, do you remember when you, in your childhood when your father used to gift or mother used to gift a new pen or a new notebook, उस दिन आपको पढ़ने का बहुत मन करता था. You used to study a lot that day, right? This used to happen with all of us, right? So what exactly happens is our mood to study is dependent or is working on multiple new and small things and exciting things, okay? Multiple colorful things and magical things. One of the reasons you must have seen why I keep using a lot of colors on my slide is because that's what attracts you, right? So the same thing, your mood depends on how exactly, what kind of colorful things you're looking at, right? So you have to find that. You have to find what excites you, which topic excites you, what time you feel excited to study, and only study that time and only that topic, okay? Finish that, become a master of it, then only move to the next, right? So far हमने वो decide कर लिया अब क्या पढ़ना है. You all know what you have to study. You all know what important topics you have, because I can see a lot of people are asking what important topics are and my experts are answering that, right? So you already know it and you are already studying that, right? Now you cannot control your mood to study. ये आपको पता होनी चाहिए. आप बायोलॉजी के स्टूडेंट हो, आपको पता होनी चाहिए. You should know you cannot control your mood to study, but you can influence it to study. Okay? कैसे? वो मैं अभी आपको बताऊंगा. So far I told you how to select the important topics. So far I told you how to use Pareto principle and how to use the chaos theory. आप समझ गए कि आपके small छोटे-छोटे effects का कितना बड़ा impact पड़ता है आपके studies पे. Now you cannot control your mood, but you can influence it. You have to find out what excites you to study. Right? बताइए what exactly excites you? Right? Okay, chocolate excites you. Nice. Right? So some people chocolate excites you, some people colorful books excite, right? What I want to tell you is, अगर आप afford कर सकते हो, if you can afford, आप once this lockdown is over, buy a color printer. Okay? Buy a color printer because color printer is a magical thing, okay? It can change your mood. So whenever you feel bored, just take a printout of the flow charts which Biotechnica keeps giving you. Every webinar which we are conducting, I think I'm giving around 10 to 15 flow charts, right? Last webinar also I gave you. So this webinar also I'm going to give you. So what do you do? Suppose you're studying that topic. Okay, I'm going to study mitosis today. Let me take a color printout of that. Okay, थोड़ा सा investment आपको करना पड़ेगा. You'll have to do that. But now colors have a magical effect on our mood. Okay, now start studying from that. So what you have to do, imagine if you have to study 13 units, as you can see from your screen, on your screen. So make a list of 20% of units which excite you. Okay, then study those units first. Then make a list of 20% of units which doesn't excite you but is important from exam point of view. मैं जल्दी से इसको हिंदी में बता देता हूँ. So now मेक अ लिस्ट, एक लिस्ट बना लीजिए 20% वैसे टॉपिक्स, वैसे यूनिट्स जो कि आपको पसंद है, जो आप पढ़ना चाहते हो, ठीक है, उसको पहले पढ़ लो. उसके बाद वैसे 20% यूनिट का लिस्ट बनाओ जो कि आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता है, यू डोंट लाइक इट, लेकिन एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अच्छा है, इंपॉर्टेंट है. नेक्स्ट स्टडी, यू कैन स्टडी दैट. सो आप उसको पढ़ लो. नेक्स्ट विल बी, अब आपके पास 60% ऑफ सिलेबस ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीट हो गया होगा, से 40% to 50% कंप्लीट हो गया. रिमेनिंग जो परसेंटेज है उसमें से यू हैव टू जस्ट फाइंड आउट रिमेनिंग 40% या 20% जो कि इंपॉर्टेंट है एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, उसको पढ़ लो. राइट? एकदम इजीली यू कैन कवर द सिलेबस also, but of course you should not be a master, you should be a master of a few units जो कि step 1 और step 2 में आपने किया है. The step 1 and step 2 what you studied, that you have to do. Now the moment you start feeling bored, okay, now मुझे किसी ने कहा था इस वेबिनार के पहले कि पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स बोर नहीं होते हैं. ऐसा है क्या? सब लोग बोर होते हैं. अगर आप इंसान हो, you can get bored. इनफैक्ट लॉकडाउन में तो कितने लोग बोर हो रहे हैं, राइट? अगर नेटफ्लिक्स और अमेजन प्राइम नहीं हो तो, isn't it? Right, TV होना चाहिए. Correct. So what exactly happens? Now, why we get bored is because when there is nothing new happening, nothing magical happening, nothing colorful happening. So the moment you feel bored, stop studying. Remember that. Take a printout of the flow chart which Biotechnica gives you. आप इंटरनेट पे भी डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. And take a printout, start looking at it. Okay? उस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड फ्लो चार्ट डाउनलोड कर लो, उसको प्रिंट कर लो, स्टार्ट स्टडिंग, स्टार्ट स्क्रिबलिंग ऑन इट, स्टार्ट राइटिंग ऑन इट. नाउ बीच में अगर ज़्यादा बोर हो रहे हो, स्टॉप स्टडिंग, प्ले लूडो, क्रिस क्रॉस, पजल्स. ओके, थोड़ा सा बायोटेक्निक का वेबसाइट चेक कर लो, क्या लेटेस्ट न्यूज़ है, राइट. देन थोड़ा सा व्हाट्सएप भी चेक कर लो, राइट. बट बोर नहीं होना है, बिकॉज आपका जो सबकॉन्शियस है, इफ इट गेट्स बोर्ड, it will not allow you to study. I'll show you that in a little later. Now come back to studying after a 15 minutes or 20 minutes break, right? लेकिन somebody told me कि सर 15 minutes का break लेते हैं, 1.5 hour का break हो जाता है, right? वहाँ पर आपको self control use करना पड़ेगा, और मोबाइल में stop watch को use कीजिए. मोबाइल में stop watch होता है, right? So stop watch को use कीजिए 15 minutes. Okay, and then come back and study. Boredom को kill कीजिए, and then you can study even much more efficiently. Now by using this method which I showed you just now, you can capture 60% of the syllabus. Okay, somebody is saying sir point पे आइए. बिल्कुल मैं point पे हूँ. I'm on the point. I'm giving you the additional tools here. I'm trying to change the way you study. That's what is the advanced technique. क्योंकि आप पढ़ते हो, efficient नहीं पढ़ते हो. You study, you don't study efficiently, and that's what I'm trying to tell you here. You can complete 60% of the syllabus by using this method, right? Now, special trick for all of you: do not end up studying too much topics, too many topics, too many times, or the same time. Do not open too many topics. Okay, it's like आप लैपटॉप है आपके पास, सपोज आप गूगल क्रोम ओपन करते हो, बहुत सारे टैब्स ओपन कर लो. what will happen? The laptop will hang, right? The same thing will happen with your life also. If you try to start too many topics. Okay, so do not end up studying too many topics too many times. Okay, or at the same time also, because that will create stress. Okay, and that will not allow you to move forward. Okay, now life is like a ludo game, or your studies is like a ludo game. So do not play too many tokens at the same time. In Hindi we call it as goti. So don't play that all the time, right? So focus on one token, and you don't know what can happen next, because your mood, your circumstance, you are not in control of, right? So what will happen next, you don't know. But if you focus on one topic, you will definitely qualify. That's what I have tried to depict on this screen right now. So use your dice, use your dice to score, and focus on one unit at a time, one topic at a time. Okay, and then you can achieve better. Now always analyze your time spent in studying. So 20% of the time slots must be more productive than 80% of the time slots. ये ऐसा सबके साथ होता है, मेरे साथ भी होता है, आप सबके साथ होता है कि at one point in time you are really burned out, you don't want to study, right? Or you don't want to learn anything extra because there is a mental block, right? तो आपको क्या करना है? You have to identify that 20% time जहाँ पर कि आप सबसे ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करते हो, सबसे ज़्यादा फोकस में पढ़ाई करते हो, सबसे ज़्यादा क्वालिटी आवर्स आप किस समय स्पेंड करते हो, उस टाइम पे यू हैव टू स्टडी. सो दैट्स द 20% यू हैव टू स्टडी. नेक्स्ट, आइडेंटिफाई एंड ग्रुप योर 20% ऑफ सिलेबस विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, विच इज़ लाइक्ड बाई यू, एंड रिवाइज देम मोर व्हेन यू फील बोर्ड. ओके, तो जैसे आप पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, यू गॉट बोर्ड, नाउ स्टॉप स्टडिंग, थोड़ा सा ब्रेक ले लो. नाउ open the best topic which you love studying, थोड़ा सा उसका notes देख लो, you will be refreshed, then you can come back to the previous topic which you are studying. Now identify those 20% topics which are taking more time. Okay, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि some topics are very boring, right? Like taxonomy, and then there is no logic behind it, they just named it, right? So now you take help of your teacher. Okay, take help of your teacher at Biotechnica. Understand कि कैसे करना है. How can we sort this thing in the shortest possible time. Okay, because we can make a mistake, learn from it, but if we learn from a teacher, he'll tell us the shortcut to avoid that mistake, right? And that's what teacher does to us, right? So that's why in Indian society we respect our teachers a lot, correct? Right. Now segmentation is the key here. So what you have to do, if you do this, you will have perfect results. So what you have to do, segment your time and segment your syllabus. The first thing, most productive at what time you are. So you have to study your most favorite topic in the most productive time. Now once the favorite topic is over, then you study the next most important topic in the most productive time. Okay, then मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंड नॉन फेवरेट टॉपिक जो होंगे उसको आप पढ़ लीजिए, एंड देन द लीस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक उसको नहीं भी पढ़ोगे तो इट विल वर्क. सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू सेगमेंट द सिलेबस, सेगमेंट योर टाइम एंड अचीव बेटर रिजल्ट्स. Now, segment the type of studying also. Always if you study from books, it's not going to help. So sometimes study from notes. Now the same thing, study from flowcharts. Then again, same thing, study by solving questions from ToughNet question bank. We have ToughNet, or you can also go for the AIMNet series of Biotechnica. So वहाँ पर आप solve कर लीजिए. You have to solve the questions. Now solving questions after studying, right? एक बार पढ़ाई कर लिया, उसके बाद फिर से क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कीजिए. सो दिस इज द हाउ यू चेंज द वे यू स्टडी. सिर्फ बुक से पढ़ने से, इफ यू जस्ट कीप रीडिंग फ्रॉम बुक्स और पावर पॉइंट्स और फ्रॉम द इंटरनेट, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प. यू हैव टू मिक्स एंड मैच. ओके, नाउ यूज द टूल्स, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड टेक्निक्स. नाउ व्हाट आर द टूल्स विच आई वांट यू टू डू इज, आपके पास कॉन्सेप्टिका बुक है, अगर नहीं है तो ले लीजिए, अगर है, या फिर anyways I'll give you the flowchart, some flowcharts I'll give you at the end of this webinar also. So use that. Okay, use flowcharts, diagrams, pictures, flashcards. Revision में बहुत काम आती है. Flashcards you can do that. So flashcards you can use. Now use technology to connect to your teacher and fellow aspirant. Now you can always connect through Biotechnica Connect platform, or you can always connect through the Biotechnica courses, right? Ask them questions and use the techniques such as 80-20 principle and chaos theory to analyze your time utilization and topic sensitivity. Now, before starting a topic, you have to decide how much important it is from the exam point of view, and that's what most of you have keep always asking. But you fail to understand that the topic which you are choosing, even if it is important, if you don't like it, you will not study it, right? Even if botany was very important for your CSIR net preparation, you cannot, you maybe a person from zoology will not like it, right? So everybody has got a different taste, right? Because we all are different, right? So we have to choose that topic which is our favorite as well as important from the exam point of view. So that should merge. Now, after ending the topic, you have to decide how well positioned you are in that topic, and that cannot happen if you do not solve the toughest question. Now, one of the problems which I have seen is people, what they'll do is they'll take out the 15-year question paper. Okay, आज भी लोग चैट में आते हैं हमारे पास बायोटेक्निका में, and they'll ask, give me 15 years question paper, we'll happily give, but that's not the solution. You have to first pick and choose what are the toughest most question, and that's what is there in ToughNet actually. Toughest most question उस टॉपिक के उठाइए, उसको सॉल्व कीजिए. इजी टॉपिक्स, इजी क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करके यू नॉट गोइंग टू गेन एनीथिंग. सो यू हैव टू डिसाइड हाउ वेल पोजिशन्ड यू आर इन दैट टॉपिक, एंड रिमेंबर दैट ऑल टफ टॉपिक्स are also tough to 80% of your competitors. Okay, so if you study and master tough topics, you can rank better than 80% of those who will write the exam. Then definitely you are going to qualify the cutoff, right? So all tough topics are actually an entry barrier for the average student. Okay, so this is the technique which I want to give you. If you find a topic which is tough as well as important, you must study it, because everybody else will skip it. Let me give you a quick tip. Everybody will think that June exam, okay, let's skip it and let's write the December exam. So very less people will actually write June exam as seriously as the December exam if the June exam doesn't get postponed. So in that case, if you write the June exam with utmost seriousness, definitely you will qualify. That's the tip which I wanted to give you. Now, if you use technology plus best teacher, you can have a better conceptual understanding of those tough topics. Now, what are the technology tools? These are the technology tools. Flowcharts, flashcards, multiple choice question banks, previous year question solving using ToughNet, actual exam conditions, memory mind maps, notes and animations. These are the technology tools which you have to use. And the best way to remember any concept, the best way to remember any concept during the exam के वक्त अगर आपको कोई भी concept याद रखना है तो उसका एक ही तरीका है, you stop forgetting that concept today. होता क्या है, आज जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं वो कल भूल जाते हैं, कल जो पढ़ा था परसों भूल जाते हैं. So what you have to do is you have to follow this cycle which I have shown you here. Can you see the cycle? Yes? Okay. So you have to revise, you have to relate, you have to memorize, you have to recall, you have to practice. ओके, ये 5 की है आपके एग्जाम में सक्सेस का, क्योंकि एग्जाम के टाइम पे अगर आप कॉन्सेप्ट को भूल गए तो फिर यू एंड अप इन chaos theory. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to keep repeating this cycle for every particular concept, every particular topic. Okay, now during the exam, जैसा कि मैंने आपको पहले भी बोला, CSIR net is like a decision game. Okay, now decision game पता है क्या है? It's just like जैसे हम when we run a company, everything is based on decision. Okay, India went on a lockdown on 22nd of March, but Biotechnica was working from home since I think 15th of March. Okay, so we were 7 days ahead because we could take a decision. तो जो पहले decision लेता है वही जीतता है. अगर आप if you are able to take decisions faster than your competitor, then only you can win. What kind of decisions you can take in the CSIR net exam? Now, what topic is important, which particular question I am good at, I should solve or not solve, that's the decision you have to take. So at the end of towards the end of this webinar, when my colleague Urmiwala will be sharing some type of questions, you will see that कि आपको decide करना होता है कि question choose करें या नहीं. You should pick this question or not. Okay, now आपके पास you will have fraction of second to decide, okay, whether I should qualify, whether I should pick this exam question paper or question or not. Okay, and that's what decides. So if you are good at deciding which question to solve first, fast and accurate, then you can win the game, right? 145 questions होते हैं. कितने question आपको solve करना होता है? Right, roughly around 75, correct? So 75 questions आपको solve करना है out of 145 questions. That means 80% लोग पता है क्यों फेल करते हैं? Why do they fail? Because they fail in deciding which 75 questions to choose from that 145 questions. ठीक है, वो डिसाइड नहीं कर पाते हैं कि कौन से 75 क्वेश्चन मुझे सॉल्व करने चाहिए. तो आप क्या करते हो जब आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे होते हो घर में इन एग्जाम कंडीशन, तो यू हैव टू डू दिस. You have to analyze the question paper using the Pareto principle. तो 20% क्वेश्चन तो डेफिनेटली टफ होगा, राइट? सो वो क्वेश्चन लेंदी भी होगा, टफ है, लेंदी है. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज यू हैव टू स्कोर ओनली 55% प्लस मार्क्स. रफली कट ऑफ जो है 55% होता है, 45 और 48 फॉर LS एंड 55-56 फॉर JRF, राइट? तो आप यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट द इजीएस्ट पार्ट सी क्वेश्चंस फर्स्ट. पार्ट सी क्वेश्चन में जाओ, जो इजी है उसको पिक करो. Okay, जो question, the question which you are good at, the topic which you are good at, pick those questions first. Okay, now solve more part C question, then only come to part B question, and then once you have finished your part B question, okay, utilize speed maths, quickly calculate how much marks you are securing, okay, and then only move to part A. कई बार लोग पार्ट ए छोड़ देते हैं, बट पिक पार्ट ए ओनली व्हेन यू थिंक पार्ट बी और सी आपका उतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ, यू स्टिल नीड टू स्कोर, देन ओनली मूव टू पार्ट ए. ओके, नाउ यू थिंक दैट द कंपटीशन इज स्ट्रक्चर्ड. आपको लगता है कि जो बहुत ही स्मार्ट लोग हैं वही क्वालिफाई करेंगे. यू थिंक दैट द मोस्ट इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन विल बिकम द टॉपर ऑफ दिस एग्जाम, बट इट इज फार फ्रॉम ट्रूथ. ठीक है, टॉपर वही बनता है जो फास्ट डिसीजन लेता है. ठीक है, so you, if you want to become a topper, you have to innovate, you have to become a game changer, and if that has to happen, it is very crucial. You have to innovate how you study today, you have to innovate and change the way you study today, you have to you have to influence your mood. okay, तभी आप टॉपर को पीछे छोड़ सकते हो. कई बार लोग सोचते हैं सर मैं फर्स्ट रैंक टारगेट नहीं कर रहा हूं, आई एम नॉट टारगेटिंग द फर्स्ट रैंक ऑफ CSIR नेट JRF. Okay, but at least think about it. Why can't you? You think कि जो सबसे स्मार्ट है वही टॉपर बनता है, ऐसा नहीं है. The person who picks up the best and the most important questions, easiest questions in CSIR net will qualify, definitely will qualify. Okay, now we tend to think that innovation difficult है. Innovation difficult नहीं है if you apply creatively 80-20 principle. कौन से समय पे आप ज़्यादा अच्छे से पढ़ सकते हो उसको चूज़ करो, कौन से टॉपिक को आप ज़्यादा अच्छे से पढ़ सकते हो उसको चूज़ करो, instead of trying to study everything and trying to be a master of everything. Now 80% of part C questions are easier than you think. Okay, that's an observation. And 80% of top rankers do not solve more than 20% of tough questions. Do you know that? Yes, again they also follow the Pareto principle. सभी लोग सारे टफ क्वेश्चन चूज नहीं करते हैं. ठीक है, CSIR नेट एग्जाम कोई रेसलिंग का अरीना नहीं है, वहाँ पर आप किसी से झगड़ा करने नहीं गए हैं. इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट योर ईगो इशूज़ कि आपको ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना ही है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, राइट? सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू पिक द ईजिएस्ट वन अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, and you have to be the best decision maker of that at that point in time. And if you want to do that, जब आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे हो घर में इस वक्त पढ़ाई करते टाइम, तो क्वेश्चन पेपर लो और ये मत ट्राई करो सॉल्व करने का कि which okay I'll try to solve all the questions. No, don't do that. Instead first just pick out, okay, अगर ये क्वेश्चन पेपर आज आता तो I would have chosen these questions. Okay, that you have to decide first. Practice decision making. Okay, now simplify your life. Now if you do not simplify your life will become like this graph which I am showing you. Actually what happens, ये competitor A जो है ये आपका टॉपर है और competitor B आप हो, you are competitor B, competitor A is there. Now actually what happens is number of topics जो आप पढ़ रहे हो वो भी पढ़ रहा है और number of hours जो spend कर रहा है वो आप भी कर रहे हो वो भी कर रहा है. Now basically अगर if you simplify your life, then the effort goes down less. In the less number of hours you can actually study more number of topics. Okay, how do we do that? Simple is beautiful. Don't make your life complicated. That means जो daily course है, जैसे the daily things like cleaning your house or taking care of daily stuff, outsource it. Okay, if you are a housewife, maybe it is cooking. If it is like taking care of certain things, if you can outsource it, right, then you can make it better. You have to outsource the complex topics to expert teachers. Now generally लोग मेरे पास आते हैं पूछते सर why should I take coaching? This is the point. आपको कोचिंग इसलिए लेनी चाहिए क्योंकि कॉम्प्लिकेटेड टॉपिक के लिए आप ट्रेंड नहीं हो, टीचर है तो पिक आउट द टीचर. नो, दिस इज नो पॉइंट. बायोटेक्निका में कितने सारे टीचर्स हैं जो आपको इस वक्त भी इतनी रात को भी हेल्प कर रहे हैं सॉल्व करने में क्वेश्चंस, राइट? और अभी भी लाइव क्लासेस चल रही है हमारी क्रैश कोर्स की पैरेलल में, राइट? तो क्यों, हाउ वी आर एबल टू डू सो? आउटसोर्स द कॉम्प्लिकेटेड टॉपिक्स टू द एक्सपर्ट टीचर. जब आप आउटसोर्स करते हो तो टीचर आपको कॉम्प्लेक्स टॉपिक भी इजी तरीके से समझाता है. नाउ इंस्टेड ऑफ मेकिंग नोट्स यू कैन ऑलवेज बाय रेडीमेड नोट्स लाइक द स्टडी मटेरियल ऑफ कोर्स फ्रॉम बायोटेक्निका और फ्रॉम एनी अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. नाउ उसमें भी लोग पूछते हैं विच वन इज बेटर. ऑलमोस्ट ऑल आर गुड. द ओनली थिंग इज हाउ यू यूज योर Pareto principle to choose which topics are important and study only those. Okay, now you may think, okay, let me make a flow chart. You can always go for Conceptica, you can pick out that. So if you simplify your life, okay, it will help you get better, because competitor A जो है यहाँ पर he will spend more time understanding that complex topic, while आप ज़्यादा पढ़ लोगे उतने ही टाइम में अगर आप ये सारे steps follow करोगे. मतलब कि daily काम जो है you can outsource that. ओके, किचन का काम, बर्तन धोना, कपड़े धोना, ऑल दैट यू कैन आउटसोर्स, राइट? सेम वे विथ द कॉम्प्लिकेटेड टॉपिक. आप एक्सपर्ट टीचर्स को उठा लो, बायोटेक्निका में है बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट टीचर्स हैं. यू कैन जस्ट आउटसोर्स, आस्क क्वेश्चंस टू देम, दे विल मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड विद इन अ क्लिक एंड देन ईजी. नाउ कॉम्प्लेक्स टॉपिक्स एक्चुअली लीड्स टू टाइम वेस्टेड. दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस इन दिस ग्राफ. अगर आप देखोगे तो दोनों को ऑलमोस्ट सेम टाइम लग रहा है पढ़ने में, बिकॉज टाइम वेस्ट होता है. कॉम्प्लेक्स टॉपिक जब आप पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हो तो टाइम वेस्ट होता है. टेक हेल्प ऑफ अ टीचर. ओके, सिंप्लीफिकेशन ऑफ टफ टॉपिक लीड्स टू बेटर रिटेंशन, बिकॉज जब टीचर आपको समझाएगा तो रियल लाइफ एग्जाम्पल देके समझाएगा. ओके, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड इट बेटर. नाउ मेजर इंप्रूवमेंट्स आर ऑलवेज पॉसिबल बाय डूइंग थिंग्स डिफरेंटली एंड डूइंग लेस. ओके, आप CSIR नेट के टॉपर बन सकते हो अगर आप इस वेबिनार को सो फार इफ यू हैव हर्ड इट करेक्टली, इफ यू मेड नोट्स, एंड दिस विल बी अ गेम चेंजर फॉर यू. नाउ डू बी सिलेक्टिव विथ योर एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन. डू नॉट टैकल एवरी टॉपिक विथ इक्वल एफर्ट. अभी तक हमने सब टॉपिक की बात की थी, अभी इक्वल एफर्ट की बात कर रहे हैं. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ सम टॉपिक्स मे बी इजी, टफ. कंसंट्रेट 80% ऑफ योर एफर्ट ओनली ऑन इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स. ओके, only that can help you. Now carry your notes everywhere. आपका जो मोबाइल है, this is a game changer in your studies. इसमें कैम स्कैनर ऐप होता है. there is a app called cam scanner. you install that. okay, take a picture, scan it and keep it in your mobile. okay, and study from that. जब भी आप कहीं बाहर हो, आपको लग रहा है टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है, यू कैन जस्ट स्विच ऑन योर मोबाइल एंड यू कैन रीड योर नोट्स, करेक्ट. रिवाइज वेन एवर यू आर फ्री. ओके, now you have to also analyze when all you are free. You may be free in the evening time, morning time, whenever you are free and you think the time waste हो रहा है, pick out the cam scanner app, आप वो PDF देखो, पढ़ो, and you will recall it better. Okay, now benchmarking. What happens is सिर्फ पढ़ाई करने से कोई नहीं जीतता है. What you have to do is apply it. So monthly class test जो होती है बायोटेक्निका के अंदर, I am sure all of you give that seriously. Yes, so monthly class test बहुत ही important है. You have to give monthly class test. Identify the topper in your coaching class. अगर बायोटेक्निका में आप ले रहे हो, you already know who is the topper, right? तो you have to identify the topper of your class. Now compare your mistakes with him. जब एग्जाम हो जाए, take his question paper, take your question paper, match करो. Which all questions he solved, which you could not, okay? Which all questions he picked, which you didn't, okay? And why he scored more. उसकी analysis करो. Then you will know कि exactly why you are failing while he got the maximum marks, right? Now which questions he scored most and benchmark with your scores. That benchmarking will help you. The next monthly test, compare your scores again. तो इस बार आप सीख गए, next month जब भी आपकी टेस्ट होगी, again you can compare. Okay, this comparison will help you. Now comparison से आपको कभी भी negative नहीं होना चाहिए कि I got less marks, he got more. Understand why he succeeded, why I could not, and let's try to fix that. That's called benchmarking. Now there is no real conflict between you and a topper. You will only be successful in the exam if you are preparing differently. If you have mastered 80% of your target units, remember it better and recall it faster, you can defeat your competitor. You have to practice decision making using previous year question paper. So question paper लीजिए, CSIR net का question paper लीजिए, hard copy print कीजिए. Now put a that stopwatch 3 hours. And then don't solve the question, just mark, okay, which all questions you will solve. Out of this 145, which 75 questions you will solve. Okay, and then see कि if I would have done that, how much I would have scored. Okay, and then that decision making will help you. सभी लोग बोलते हैं कि आप क्वेश्चन पेपर प्रैक्टिस करो, बट ये नहीं बताते हैं कि आपको डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रैक्टिस करना है क्वेश्चन पेपर सॉल्व करने के साथ. Okay, now you need better tools, techniques and technology than anyone else if you want to become a top ranker, if you want to qualify in CSIR net with highest marks. ठीक है. Now do not just solve the question papers, like I said, decision making for the question papers ज़रूरी है. Now how do you handle mood? ये बहुत ही important चीज़ है जो मैंने स्टार्टिंग में आपसे पूछा था कि मूड में हो आज आप ये सेशन अटेंड करने के लिए, राइट? सो मूड क्या चीज़ है? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज मूड? तो sometimes we don't feel like studying, right? We feel sleepy, we feel the topic is boring. In fact ये जब वेबिनार चल रहा होगा कहीं ना कहीं आपने फील किया होगा ये बोरिंग टॉपिक है, राइट? सो व्हाई एग्जैक्टली दैट हैपेंस? टीचर इज बोरिंग. एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि ये हम नहीं, हमारे अंदर का सबकॉन्शियस बोल रहा होता है. ओके, वी डोंट डिसाइड कि कोई भी चीज़ बोरिंग है या नहीं है. हमारा सबकॉन्शियस डिसाइड करता है कि वेदर इट इज़ बोरिंग और नॉट. वी टेंड टू डू रिलैक्स और चिलैक्स, दैट्स व्हाट वी कॉल इट, राइट? सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज ओके, बहुत हो गया इंटेंस टॉपिक, लेट्स चिलैक्स, लेट्स नॉट लिसन टू ऑल दिस, राइट? सो व्हाट हैपन्स, दिस इज व्हाट हैपन्स. Exactly in your mind you have two personalities. Okay, one is you, one we call it as a subconscious. Here for making it easy I'll call it as a child. Okay, there is a child inside you. Now this child when goes out of control it becomes a chimpanzee. Okay, it acts like a monkey, and that monkey or that child decides whether a topic is boring or not. आप बोलोगे नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, but actually जब भी आपको कोई भी चीज़ बोरिंग लग रहा होता है, ये आप नहीं डिसाइड कर रहे होते हो कि द टॉपिक इज बोरिंग और द सिलेबस इज बोरिंग और द स्टडीज आर बोरिंग. इट्स द चाइल्ड इनसाइड यू इज डिसाइड्स दैट इट इज बोरिंग. सो हाउ अ चाइल्ड बिहेव्स? नाउ नॉर्मली चाइल्ड क्या करता है? इट डजंट लिसन, करेक्ट? It is 5 times more dominating. If the child wants a chocolate, it wants a chocolate, correct? It always runs away from studying, correct? बेसिकली जो आपके अंदर का ये चाइल्ड है, और वी कॉल इट एज अ सबकॉन्शियस साइंटिफिकली, ये बहुत ही डोमिनेटिंग होता है, इट्स वेरी वेरी डोमिनेटिंग. सो जनरली व्हाट पीपल से इज आपको विल पावर होना चाहिए, यू आर अ पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट, आपको विल पावर होना चाहिए सो यू कैन कंट्रोल. बट मैं ये नहीं कहता हूँ. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू से दैट यू कंट्रोल द चाइल्ड इनसाइड यू. ओके, do not try to dominate the child inside you. Do not try to tell the chimpanzee inside you or monkey inside you that no you have to study. Okay, that is a wrong statement. You have to try to negotiate with it. How do you negotiate with it? How do you negotiate with the child? So you give a reward, right? So आप क्या करो, उसको reward दो. You say to yourself that if I finish this chapter today, I am going to give to you a chocolate. Tell to yourself. Okay, now put that reward in your mind. Say that if I finish this, if you like chocolates you can do that, whatever you like. Okay, like if I finish this unit today, I will go and play badminton, right? Whatever you like. So just give a reward to the child inside you, and you will see it will help you in goal achievement. Okay, tell the child inside you the logical benefits of studying, right? कई बार you are not in mood because your subconscious is not in mood, तो you just tell to yourself that अगर मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ, if I study this topic right now, I think I can score 10 marks more in CSIR net, जो मेरा goal है, achievement है. I have sacrificed everything for this. Logically, if you try to tell your child inside you, definitely it will listen. Now, excite the child. How do you excite? With colorful notes. Remember मैंने आपको कहा था प्रिंटर ले लीजिए आप, कलर प्रिंटर. Now color notes, colorful notes, books, flowcharts, flashcards. You have to excite. In fact, why Biotechnica has so many tools like flashcards or Conceptica, the flowchart book, or the ToughNet, the question bank. Why we have these colorful notes and e-learning portal? Because it excites you, subconscious. और यही रीज़न है कि आप अपने अंदर के सबकॉन्शियस को कंट्रोल कर पाते हो और फिर आप पढ़ाई कर सकते हो, राइट? मेजॉरिटी ऑफ लोग, आप मेजॉरिटी ऑफ एक्सपर्ट्स विल टेल यू कि यू मस्ट कंट्रोल योर subconscious or willpower. You must have willpower to study. When you try to fight with a child, what happens? It will revolt, and that is what happens. Do not try to control your mood. Influence your mood. Nurture the child within you, then only it will allow you to study. Okay? Now, with this I come to an end of my session, and now I will pass on the controls to my colleague Mrs. Urmimala. Before I go, I hope you liked my session. I hope you enjoyed my session. Now, I want to tell you that we have started a batch from 17th of April, just few days ago, which is a crash course for CSIR NET June 2020. Okay, और ये crash course start हो चुकी है और इसमें काफ़ी students ने, a lot of students have already enrolled, like you. And the link we are giving you right now in the chat. Please enroll with us if you wish to control the child inside you, if you wish to know what are the important topics and how to study them even better. Okay, मैंने आपको बहुत सारे hint दिए हैं throughout my presentation, and now that Mrs. Urmimala will be talking, she will give you better insights about the question, type of question, important topics, important question. Even she'll present an analysis also to you, unit wise analysis of important topics. But ये जो batch शुरू हो चुका है, you can always contact us. Okay, the toll free number is being displayed on your screen right now. I'll just write it there. Okay, so the toll free number is 1-800-1200-1818. और या फिर आप हमें हमारे दूसरे नंबर पे भी डायल कर सकते हो. एंड देन यू कैन टॉक टू द एक्सपर्ट्स एंड गेट एनरोल्ड योरसेल्फ. लॉकडाउन कितने दिन चलेगा, वी कैन नॉट प्रिडिक्ट. कोरोना वायरस पैंडेमिक कितने दिन रहेगा, वी कैन नॉट प्रिडिक्ट. बट डेफिनेटली व्हाट वी कैन प्रिडिक्ट इज योर सक्सेस will definitely come out of this lockdown because you are better focused. You are going to apply these principles into your life. Thank you. Now over to you, Urmimala. Can you please connect?
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Is my voice loud and clear to everyone here? I welcome you all to my presentation. Thank you, Shekhar sir, for the wonderful introduction, and on behalf of everyone, I would like to appreciate and thank you for organizing or arranging such webinars where students can really benefit a lot, and when they are successful, they will owe their success to Biotechnica, right? So today's topic, advanced CSIR net preparation techniques for smart students, right? Yes, thank you so much for your response. Yes, you can see my PPT. I'm audible. Yeah. So I hope everyone is doing well and your spirits are up high even in this lockdown period. But that's not a big issue, right? So you are the chosen few who have been given an extended period where you are forced to sit at home and study, right? And utilize this time as much as you can. Get yourself, take knowledge from anywhere you can, and make yourself prepared for what is going to come ahead post this pandemic, right? Now, what exactly do you mean by smart students? Some of you might wonder what exactly is like what we are not smart, or how do you categorize smart students? So basically, this is what I feel. This CSIR exam, it's one has to be very dedicated for that. And this webinar also, it is not for lazy and casual approach students. All right. So if this is what you look like, students still spending more than 1 hour per day, on distractions such as TV, games, social media, movies, outings, etc. Well, this doesn't apply right now, but on a general, I want to tell this. That means you are not serious. You're not serious about your life. You're not serious about your career. Also, students who constantly look at the time for the lecture or class to get over, right? Which means, why are you even here? If you are not interested in what is happening, then why are you even here? You shouldn't be looking at the time. You should be regretting why this got over, isn't it? Students who don't have a study plan yet. Well, if you are preparing for an exam, you have thought in your head that you're going to appear for this exam. Where's your plan? How do you think it's going to work without a plan? It's not possible, right? The students who don't revise or practice questions on a daily basis. As I go forward, I am going to give you some advanced tricks. And one of this trick is learn, revise, and practice question and repeat. So if you keep on doing this on an everyday basis, everyday matters over here, definitely success is on your way. But if you are not prepared to do this, you will only learn or just go through a topic once and expect miracles to happen. It's not magic, isn't it? The students who feel CSIR exam qualifying is enough to get a PhD. Absolutely not. Now, where you want to do your PhD, some of you might have already pictured yourself working in a recognized institute, a dream institute, what you have. So you have to picture yourself there and what you are doing to get yourself in that picture, right? So CSIR exam, if you are clearing, you are getting a gate. The doors are opened. You are just getting a hall ticket, you can say. You are just getting a gate ticket for applying for PhD in a recognized institute. So even the normal students or regular students who didn't clear CSIR, they will not get that option as well. Okay. So when you are doing so, you are kind of like CSIR has opened up the hallway for you. Now you have to walk through it, isn't it? You have to prepare for interviews. You have to take interest in that research institute where you have always dreamt to be a researcher or doing PhD. And you have to know what kind of work goes on over there, isn't it? So it's not, again, this webinar is also not for students who think that when it happens, I will take care of it. So I'm sure, as of now, I see a big audience in front of me. I'm sure at least 10 to 20%, they already do so. They have already gone through the websites of recognized institutes where the research is getting carried out in their field of interest, and they know which scientist is working on which work. So taking interest is very important if you want to clear CSIR. Okay. So instead, you use that time, what you spend on distractions, you can do in some positive breaks. Definitely, you're not expected to study all the time, not expected to prepare yourself all the time. So what do you do in your break time? You either try to indulge in some exercise, workout, yoga, calm your mind, concentrate, playing sports, and also listening to music helps. But not while studying. I'll come to that point. So this is what exactly I mean by smart students. So CSIR exam and specifically this webinar will be for the students who are 3Ds: disciplined, determined, and dedicated. So what exactly is determination? Determination means by hook or by crook I want it. I don't know how, like somehow or the other I will be getting it. Dedicated. So when you have a schedule, they are with proper dedication. It's not half-minded, you are just studying the topics. Half-mindedly you are practicing questions. With full dedication, with all of their sense organs completely into it. Disciplined. Doing the right things at the right time. So that you are not procrastinating any tasks. So tasks will not pile up. You will complete required activities in time, and that will bring you satisfaction as well as success. Also, this is for focus students, so who follow one course until successful. You understand focus, right? You've seen those horses, how they're near their eyes, some barriers are given so that they can't look here and there. They can look only in one direction. That is moving forward. That is what is focus. You are clearing the CSI, your name appearing in that list. That is what should be you are running towards. And whatever you do in the upcoming days till the exam, this is all you will be thinking about all the time. Diet conscious students, yes. So you have to take care of your health as well. Now as you can see, immunity is very important. And not only that, suddenly you can't afford to fall sick, or in fact, if you are overeating or something, you will become obese, and that will make you lethargic and lazy. You will try so hard to study, but somehow something will hold you back. You will not get the required amount of energy or the excitement. The reason, something is, dirty things are going inside your body. So be diet conscious, eat the good things. So you all know, you might have heard about Kiran Bedi, isn't it? So I really liked her dialogue, one statement she had given about this diet. So whatever seems very yummy or very tasty, maybe it is not doing good to your body. And whatever it might not taste so much good, but then it might be healthy. Okay, so keep track of your health as well. Also, this smart student means who study to gain knowledge and not just to finish their work. This is a very important statement. That is what I mean by smart student. Okay. So, the curiosity, the eagerness, and that will only come when you have already pictured yourself in your dream institute. IIT, NCPS, IISc, ISIR. So, wherever it is. So, students who feel CSIR exam qualification is just a hall ticket for the journey of PhD ahead. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, let's get into the actual techniques now. Now that you understand what category you are falling in. So, it's never too late to change yourself, okay? Sometimes a paradigm shift means suddenly you see something or hear something or you observe something and something very deeply changes you into a positive direction. So, maybe this webinar will be a paradigm shift for you. And you will come, even if you're falling under the other category of students, from this day onwards you will strive whatever you can to come in the smart section student. Now by this time you might have understood, when we talk about this webinar is for smart students, we don't mean who are intelligent, more intelligent. First of all, I don't believe that. All students have equal intelligence. It's just that they don't use it well. Okay. So let me give you some tricks over here by which even an ordinary student can become a very smart student by applying these techniques. Okay. So goal setting should be smart. That means it should be specific. Means I want to clear JRF. Within 50 ranked. 50 ranks, within that my rank will be there. This is specific. Okay. So just for a moment, remember that glorious day when you had imagined yourself being placed at this prestigious position, maybe as a professor or carrying out research. Now analyze the activities and efforts that you had performed in order to achieve your goal. Right? So have you accomplished it? Or are you still waiting for the opportunity to move ahead towards your desired career? So this is the right opportunity. Grab it. Right? And it should be measurable. That means I will get a above 50 rank, I need to have this much score in the exam. That is measurable. For that, how much I need to study, how many hours I need to dedicate. Attainable. Suddenly, you are never prepared for an exam and suddenly you think that I will get the first rank in CSIR. Ask yourself again, maybe you can, yes, you have to put a lot of effort, but is it really attainable for you at this stage? So it should be attainable also. And then relevant. Relevant means so which is helpful for your career. All right. And definitely time based. Many people don't do that. They will set a goal, they know what to do, and somehow, I don't know, everyone believes this, magically it is going to come to them or it is going to happen. You have to set a timer for that. So that timer is a deadline. Within this I will be clearing. Either within June 2020 as of now, let's see what happens, but just giving you example, or till December 2020. That's it, I will clear within that only. Why to simply sit with years and years of preparation and struggling with CSIR exam, isn't it? Prepare for 6 months well and then give the exam, clear it at once. That's the best attitude. So the clearing CSIR net exam, the competitive exam, it requires 3 things. So one is skill. Definitely you need to have that ability, aptitude, reasoning, logical reasoning. So some skill should be there. And I'm sure every student, life science students, might be having that particular skill to go into research because that's what you have studied all throughout. Concept. For this you require preparation and memory. So you might have to take the help of some visual aids or something else which will help you retain better. So these 3 pillars are the main thing in clearing the CSIR exam. Okay. So how do you get started? So it's easy to get started, and let's see how you can do. You have no clue how to start, just get a printout of the syllabus. Go through the topics. See which units are there. Then from there you can select out which units you are going to prepare in CSIR exam. Total there are 13 units, but you may not require to be preparing 13 units only. You can prepare less than that. Maybe some 8 to 9 units you can prepare, but you have to prepare it thoroughly, so that whichever questions are coming from those units, you will be able to attend them. At least 75% questions from that unit you should be able to attend. Prepare it like that way. Target for 90%, ultimately you will be able to answer 75%. Selection of the units. So select the units which interest you, which you might have studied in your graduation, post-graduation and scored well, you had gained interest over there, or the subjects or units which you plan to work on, you want to carry out research, or the ones which are easy, whichever suits you. Then get the printout of last 5 to 10 years question paper. This is also an extremely important thing. Now why printouts I'm saying? Because you can mark on it, you can write it. The thing is, the best learning is when you use all your sense organs, right? So when you are seeing what is being done, which question, so the best practice is you are studying a topic, then if you have the question paper printouts, keep it like in a place where it is always accessible. Just like you will pick up a magazine and flip through the pages, similarly you pick up the question paper and flip through the pages. See which question is attracting your attention. Probably you might have studied that part. So when you see the question, you will get the curiosity to solve it, get the answer, and that way many questions, if you know the concept behind it, half your preparation is done there itself. Analyze the questions, topics and subtopics. So as I said, if you flip through the questions, you see which are the keywords, which are the topics or subtopics that are being asked. Why don't you attach some pages behind your syllabus and write those topics down on the syllabus? So make a list of the keywords and attach with your syllabus copy. Get a copy of the reference books. Ebook is totally fine. And prepare a strategy to get the qualifying marks. I will also come across the slide where the calculation of your target score, I will help you how to do that. All right. So you should divide your time in a day wisely. Means what? In a day or in a week. So what is the time and what you are going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Right. You can use a daily planner also, a study planner also. So this will be a weekly schedule and this will be a subject schedule, means unit 1. Let's say unit 1 of CSIR syllabus biochemistry. So which day you are going to study it and what will be the what time to what time. You can do subtopics also. Need not be always the complete unit. So when you break it down into subtopics, calculation becomes, tracking yourself becomes more easier. Okay. So effective strategy, you're supposed to break it up. Divide the subject material evenly over the available study days to avoid cramming. You are thinking that throughout the day, throughout 3 days, 3-4 days I will study biochemistry and I'll finish the entire thing. That's absurd if you have never studied biochemistry before. Okay. Or else you have started out with ecology, you are completely interested in it. You spent an entire 2 weeks on ecology only. That is also not advisable. That is why you have to break it up. And hence, I told you to use a study planner. Also, starting early is a good option. Create a study plan as soon as a test is assigned to reduce anxiety and feel more in control. So, if you are enrolled at Biotechnica, or even if you can assign yourself for some tests, okay? If some weekly test is there or any monthly test is there. So prepare yourself for that particular mock test or for that weekly test. Okay, so that you can perform there better. So if you start early, you can reduce the anxiety that you are not prepared for it. Try to make study notes. Make jot notes to summarize the material and boost the organization. So organizing your what parts you have learned or what topics you have learned, organizing them is also an important factor. Sometimes people just keep on learning here and there is haphazard notes, no idea what is happening. Then what happens? Your recollection will become very difficult. Somehow you will feel that you studied one part. Your visual thing will be, I can see that formula, I had written it somewhere. And maybe it's a molecular biology topic and near to it you have a genetics chart or table. So you will get totally confused what you won't be able to remember properly. You're trying to remember a molecular biology concept, but because you had the visual notes where near to that you had drawn some genetics charts, it will be confusing for you. So always do summarizing chapters and make a better organization. Okay. So what are the easiest aspects of CSIR exam? So there is a large buffet of questions from various streams. You have total 145 questions in the paper, out of which you just have to solve 15 plus 35 plus 25. That's all. So 75 questions is not at all too much out of 145, right? High number of alternatives. And that is why I am suggesting no need to study all the 13 units. No need to prepare all the 13 units. Okay. Another big aspect of it is that there is repetition of questions being observed. So back year question papers or previous year question papers often are common. It might not be the exact same question, but at least the topic will be same. Several questions are already easy, are really very easy, and some even require no prior knowledge. Especially the Part C questions. They might look essay-like questions, but If you just read it once, even with somebody without the concept, may be able to clear it, maybe able to answer it, because maybe it's a graphical question. I'll show you some sample questions to give you an idea how to solve for all that. And relatively lower cutoff marks. So for JRF, you have to only score 60%. That is the highest that the cutoff has gone. So average, if you ask me, it will be somewhere around 55%. That's pretty less, isn't it? The cutoff mark is pretty less. So what are the total questions and units? So June 2019, December 2019. The reason I put up this graph is because, first of all, you are knowing your syllabus. You are knowing what is going to come, right? See, when are we scared? When we don't know what is going to come. But when we know what is there ahead of us, right now we know what we have to do, what is there ahead of us. So we are doing pretty well. For last 1 month we are doing pretty well. But when we don't know what is there, then our planning also is not done. We are even more anxious and scared, right? So the reason I am showing you this analysis is that you can see the distribution is almost same. Almost equal divisions for every unit. Except 1 or 2 units are there. So that is why from the 13 units, you can prepare any units that interest you. Questions will be there from that unit. Do not worry about that. But yes, I suggest that at least you should know these topics, these units, because they are kind of basic of the life sciences. In every other unit, you will find biochemistry, biomolecules. In many units, you will find cell cycle important, cell division important, right? Molecular biology, replication, transcription, translation, how genes are formed, and not forgetting genetics. The gene names, the mutations and all that. So generally try to cover these units in your preparation, because that will give you an idea of other units as well. You will get a strong base for preparation of other units. Okay. And if you see, I have just taken 3 units, unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3 from last 5 years papers. I haven't included 2019 over here. Till 2018 you can see that again from unit 1, from all these years, you can see almost 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11. So it's not that it's only in 2 exams, but for a unit in 5 exams also, the number is almost same. So don't worry about the number of questions, it will be there. But the thing is, you have to select out which topic you don't know, which topic will come in the exam you are not aware of. Okay, because there are many topic names, subtopics from which questions can come in CSIR. So this 10-11 questions will be from which topic that you don't know, and that is why the thorough preparation. That is why the syllabus looks huge. Okay. So what is an effective preparation strategy? So if you have a 3-month study plan or 6-month study plan, and along with some smart preparation, the tools and techniques I'm explaining here, definitely you will get a JRF. So one is target score setting. I will help you out with this also. How much you want to achieve. And how do you get that? By solving how many questions? By preparing how many units? And you have to create an effective study plan. As already mentioned, you can create a timetable and try not to focus on many units at a time. So maybe 2 units a day is fine. Okay. So for 1 week, you study unit 1 in the morning and then unit 2 in the afternoon or evening time. Then again the next day you study unit 2 in the morning, unit 1 in the afternoon or evening time. So like this you juggle for around 7 days or 10 days. Within that, these 2 units should be sufficiently covered. I'm not saying everything will be covered, but sufficiently it should be covered. Okay. So spread it out evenly till your exam time. That you only have to strategize how to do it. And you can also take help of Biotechnica. We have a master timetable. If you want, you can write to us. We can provide that. Minimum 8 to 9 hours of study every day. Yes, you heard me right. You are a smart student means you should be able to work hard. You should be prepared to work hard. So just a 4 to 5 hours of study is nothing in front of a life science students. We are in research. Okay, it's not a easy job. It's not a joke. Okay, you have to be very much dedicated about what is happening. Many data and information. You should be very knowledgeable in one word if you are into research. So why not inculcate this skill inside you while preparing for CSIR itself? So minimum 8 to 9 hours of study is required every day. Understanding the topics in depth. That's what CSIR is all about. They will ask you from different domains, fine. But the problem is they ask in depth also. So varying topics plus depth. Both dimensions questions will be asked. And that is where the syllabus seems totally unmanageable and uncoverable. So what is the solution? You have to focus on more important topics. How will you know important topics? I had already told you to get 5-10 years question papers. Look from there. Definitely you will find some keywords and you will see almost every year they have given question from that topic. One such example is C. elegans vulva development. Another one is Ramachandran plot. Just 2 examples I gave. Pedigree analysis. Every time that question will be there. So why not focus on important topics first? Then later, whichever is not asked, it's not that you can assume that if a question is not asked for the last 10 years, it will not be asked. Like for example, protein folding. Some chaperones are involved in protein folding. The question hasn't been asked ever. But this year, 2019, they had asked question about this GROL and GROS. DNA K and DNA J. Okay. So you have to take, obviously if you are just completed MSc or MTech or BTech, whatever it is, and you are here to appear for CSIR, managing such a huge syllabus suddenly, it will be little bit difficult for you, okay, to be honest. So why not take some help from experts? That will only facilitate your preparation. It will make it very rapid. You can do it, you can achieve it within 3 months or 6 months, depending upon what hard work you are also doing. You cannot leave it entirely to the coaching also. You have to study by yourself as well, okay? That's again another clause which students often misunderstand. They think they join coaching means somehow they will spoon feed them to get to the exam. No, we are just helping you manage your time. To identify, we already have identified the important topics and we give you explanations on that so that you don't have to waste time to get the concept from the books. That is our approach. And definitely you have to practice questions also, isn't it? So pre-calculate your score. Now what exactly you mean by this pre-calculate? See, I told you for net JRF you have to get at least 65 to 70%, then guaranteed JRF. Basically 60% is more than enough. It's highly doubtful whether it will go beyond that percentage of cutoff. So within that definitely you will clear JRF. And if it is LS, generally it is 50%, but I have increased 5 to 10% so that you are in the safer side. Okay. Now what do you require for this? You have to attempt 15 questions out of 20. These are the ones which you have to attempt. I mean, it's not mandatory, but these are the maximum number of questions you should attempt. So 15 into 2, 30 marks, 35 into 2, 70, and 25 into 4 is, the last section C is 4 marks. So 100 questions, 100 marks will be there. Now if you want to achieve 60 marks, 60% marks, that means how much is it? 120, isn't it? Out of 200. Total is 200 marks. So to get this many correct, you don't have to go for 15 questions. Solve just 5 questions. 10 marks you will get. So that is a huge choice, right? First of all, 20 questions are there. Out of that you're supposed to do 15, but don't do that. Do only 5 aptitude questions. 20 questions from part B. 50 questions are there. Out of that you have to do only 20 questions. So 20 into 2, 40 marks. 75 questions are there. Out of that you have to do only 20 marks. 20 questions from part C. 80 marks. Total is 130 marks. Minus 10 I am taking. Although these are very, very less number of questions you have attended. So obviously you will attend which you are very much sure. So chances of mistakes will be less, but still I have given -5 or -10 negative marking. Still you have 120 marks, which is guaranteed JRF. This is how you calculate your score. So this exam doesn't look so much difficult right now, isn't it? But the thing is, solving these questions requires those 3 things which I said: skill, memory, and concept. Right? So what are some 5 habits of super smart students? Most important topic, most important point. They study in short bursts, not marathons. You will see some students sitting with their books all the time, not helping. Okay, maybe 15 minutes. Study one paragraph, study one page, go and take a break. Not a break for continuous, like 5-10 minutes. Go out, do some stretching, go out to have some fresh air, grab a healthy snack like some almonds or dry fruits or something. So that really helps. Believe me, out of experience I'm talking. Okay, they write almost everything down. As I said, you have to include maximum sense organs. Your touch with the finger, the writing, you're seeing what you're writing, you're utilizing your brain while you're writing. This really helps. And when you write it down, you will retain it better. Very important again, they conquer procrastination. So they will stick to a schedule, always. So you have made a study planner, but you're not following it. What is the use? You have to conquer procrastination. Do not delay. Procrastination means you have a thing to do in the at a particular time, but you're thinking that little later, I'll get up after some time. That is called as procrastination. Okay. So do concentration exercise. Smart students, they do something to sharpen their memory, sharpen their brain. Did you know you have so many applications where you can practice aptitude, you can do some quizzes. So why not, instead of this social networking, they hardly help, okay? Professional platforms are fine, where you have to keep contacts. Keeping contact is also necessary for your success. But too much on the friend circle social networking, it's absolutely worthless. It's not getting you anything, it's not getting you anywhere. Okay. So do some concentration exercise. Always, I tell this to my students at Biotechnica, always try to bring out a better version of yourself every day. Your best competitor every day is you in the last day. Okay. Frequently ask questions. Yes. Smart students read a sentence and get 3-4 questions out of it. And in fact, this is something which I also insist on. In fact, you know, when you are reading a slide or when you're reading a material, so get a question from here only. So a smart student probably is thinking, what kind of questions? That's what a smart student is, okay? Frequently asked questions means what kind of question should I ask? So more questions, you will definitely work hard to get the answers. Either you can look it up yourself or you can ask the experts for doubt clearance and everything. But the thing is, doubt and curiosity should arise in your mind. If it is not arising, maybe your preparation is not going in the right direction. Efficient note making. Many people don't know that. So you have to highlight important points like key terms, definitions, equations, units, laws, formulas. And very important is try to visualize things in your imagination. So when you are studying about this DNA replication, the fork thing happens, right? This DNA strand, it opens up and it's a replication fork kind of forms. And there, you know, the lagging strand kind of loops around. And then some short bursts of DNA chains are formed, Okazaki fragments. Now, always try to draw the mental picture. When you are preparing, why not draw actual picture? Okay, so that really helps you. First, initially start with drawing actual pictures. Later, you will be able to draw it in your mind itself. So visualize things. You got an experiment in the question. In a question you got an experiment that the molecule A and molecule B, you have cultured molecule cell line A, you have cultured separately, cell line B you have cultured separately. Why not visualize? You are able to see a Petri plate in which cell line A is there, some cells are there, and in another Petri plate some cell line B is there. Okay, fusion is taking place. You picture that both of the cell lines are now growing in one, like that. Okay, so this visualizing, it goes a long way, but you have to practice, start doing it. If you haven't done it yet, you start doing it, you will be able to reach there. Avoid paragraphs. Avoid stuffing too many information in one page. Keep spaces in between two information when you are making notes, so that it looks neat. It never should be crammed. Notes never should be crammed. Okay, so see here, this is one line. Instead of writing it this way, if you underline, if you put the Krebs is a term, so what is the full form of it? Why not underline those things, write in bold? You can use a highlighter, but don't go crazy with it. And once phosphorylated, so see, this is very easy to read. This complex now binds to the Krebs and that stimulates gene transcription. This is a visual note. Yes, it might take little bit time. If you have time till December, then prepare slowly, gradually. Take your time and get yourself, why not target for the Sama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship. Top rankers in CSIR net exam get that raised fellowship. Okay, why not aim for that if you have time? But if you don't have time, then do this thing, same thing, only for important topics. But note making is must. You have to write, as I said. Okay. Retaining information. This goes a long way, students. Chart or table preparation. So what are the topics what you can do? Enzyme regulation, disorder, signaling pathway. What signaling pathway? What is the signal name? What is the receptor name? What is the function of the signaling pathway? What is the secondary messenger of this pathway? Ultimately, which gene it is modifying? What is the transcription factor associated with it? Make a table. You will not get consolidated tables anywhere. You have to prepare it yourself. How you do that? Keep some A4 sheets or maintain a big notebook, and whenever you get the information, keep these charts ready with the columns. Whenever you study something in any unit, you will input in your chart. So you will get a consolidated list. Okay. Antibiotics, what gene they block or what enzyme they block. Cytokines, what is the function, which cell they bind to, which receptor they bind to. Extremely important. Okay. Herbicides also, which herbicide is making what kind of effect. Enzyme regulation. Regulation is asked a lot in CSIR. Not only enzyme, but any kind of regulation of a process, of a pathway. So, and disorders, what mutation or what deficiency will cause what disorder. You have to make tables like that. Gene functions, protein functions. So choose your columns carefully. As you can see here, this is a table of CDKs, human CDKs. So what are different type of CDKs, which phase of the cell cycle they will appear, what are the phosphorylation targets, and what will be the effect on inhibition. Okay, then this is the disorder, deficiency disorder. What is the disease? Why is it caused? Because of which enzyme deficiency and which accumulated product. Okay. Next is retaining information. That means another way is printout file. So take self-explanatory printouts of diagrams, flowcharts, some important topic tables if you find, and put it in a file. Okay. And keep it again along with your question papers. Every day go through them. Just imagine how beautiful it will look to have a list, to have this folder. It's like a photo album, isn't it? You look at it every day. How many of you remember exactly in your childhood photo album which image is where? You remember that also in perfect order, because you have seen it so many times throughout childhood, isn't it? Now you would have forgotten because many of us are away from home now. But definitely when you were at home, that would have been always in your mind, right? So same thing, if you flip it every day, try to take colored images, it will create a huge impact on yourself. Okay. So see here you have a TCA cycle and vulva development. Clearly it is visible. So every day if you see, and not just see it, okay, not just looking at magazine pictures, you have to spend some time on it. At least 5 minutes time on it. And you don't have to go through all these topics every day. Just some days you have to go through it. Okay. I mean, someday one topic. That's all. So some smart tips for productive study. Try to create a dedicated space for study. So you can see it is quite neat. You can create, put some notes, sticky notes, some to-do list. You can put your study planner over here. You can stick some motivational words, write it on a piece of paper. Try to have a calendar, a clock, and stationery, notepad, calculator. Okay, this really helps. A dedicated space always, not anywhere like in bed or anywhere. Try to make a dedicated space for your study. Add variety of ways to your learning. Not always the same old method. You have opened a book, you have started studying, you're taking notes. Why? You go and search for some animation. Okay. Go and look for a research paper. Find out an application based on these topics. Right? So different ways of learning you can identify. Juggle between unit and subjects, which I already said. Do not take one unit and sit with it forever. You can take 2 units at a time and try to finish it in a given amount of time. That way you will not get bored. Okay. And steer clear of multitasking. Many people will have their phones along with them while studying. Some people will put on music. Some people even study in front of TV. I don't know how that is possible. So read out loud, explain yourself. Multitasking actually doesn't work when you want to learn something. Okay, it might work with some mundane activities. You can wash dishes also. You can talk to somebody also over phone also. You can listen to music also. So some mundane activities might be possible, but not the learning part. Okay. So as I said in my previous slide, the first or second slide, dedicated student, that is not dedication. Okay. Read out loud. Why? It is involving a sense organ. Your tongue is involved. You're listening to yourself. That will definitely go a long way. Explain yourself. You have studied a topic. Why not explain it to yourself? But for that you study it in the correct way, right? From the correct resources. Not just you have studied it from Wikipedia. You cannot really trust Wikipedia. They're editable. So you have studied a part and you're explaining. So some reliable sources, some standard reference books or some authentic video lectures. So many people will just simply explain on YouTube, but all are not authentic. Some might even give you wrong information if you didn't know that. Okay, in fact, many of them give you wrong information. So why not study from the right resource and try to explain yourself? Have you wondered when you're in college or something, you will explain something to your friends, and that topic always you will remember for a long time. So that's exactly what happens. If you don't have a friend with you, you can always explain over phone also. Even video calls are possible now. You can do that. You can do group study, right? So all this helps. You can share topics also. You study one topic one day, ask another one to study another topic, and then you explain yourselves each other. And if nothing is there, you just explain to yourself. Okay, this is happening, now this is happening, as if you are teaching somebody. Okay. Some additional study tips. So you have to increase your observational power, attention to small details. Somewhere like the numerical question is there, one numerical question, and at the end a small thing is there. What will be the enzyme activity, whatever, like any other term, in micrometer or microgram. Okay. So maybe all the answers are given in milligrams, but in microgram means you have to convert it. Whatever answer you're getting, you have to convert it. These are attention to small details. Visualize things, as I told you. While reading them, you have to keep on visualizing. You are studying RNA polymerase. So you know this alpha and beta, they are joined together. Then the sigma factor comes and binds. It forms a hollow enzyme. You have to picture an incomplete enzyme first. Then it comes and binds. Then you're studying protein folding, how the conformation is changing if any other molecule is coming and binding to it. So some changes are there in the alpha helix or the beta sheet, because of which the conformation is changing. You have to picture all this. Sometimes your diagrams will be there, but sometimes you have to Line by line you have to picture it. Consolidate the formulas, terms and terminologies. I have also said this, why not for a chapter, for a particular unit, get all the formulas in one place. And then that also you can keep it in your printout file so that every day you get to see it. Or important terms and terminologies, some disease names, why it happens. So flashcards, small flashcards with little piece of information. They are not notes, okay? Only like 2-3 liners will be there in one flashcard. And skim through diagrams and glossaries in books. You will see the diagrams in reference books, glossary at the back, some terms and terminologies are there. That really helps a lot. In your free time you can do that. Open up a diagram for any chapter which you are studying. See what is given below the diagram. Try to read the explanation. Try to understand the diagram without reading the text inside. And that way your observation power automatically increases. When you don't know what is there, you're just trying to observe from a diagram what is given, your observation power automatically increases. Okay. So one more thing to increase observation power is literally observe everything in the slide. I mean, just example I'm giving. Okay, some gears are there, a brain is there, pink color face is there. Okay, some squares are there, biotechnica is written. I'm just giving example. So this is how you should always observe more. Try to see what is there on the slide more. Okay. So some tips for a rock solid preparation. So this also helps a lot. You can browse through educational videos, research papers, and in that you will study the graph, table, diagrams, abstracts, if nothing else. So a small introduction will be given, the abstract before the research paper. Okay. And that too, don't study the research papers which have lot of experimentations and lot of datas and everything. No, try to pick the ones which have some reviews, review articles, or ones which explain a particular concept. Sometimes even this reference books chapters are given in this, like they will upload it in the internet in the form of a research paper. Okay. So in which diagrams are there, explanatory mechanisms are there, some flowchart is given. So try to go through those research papers, at least the abstract, if at least nothing else. Okay, that will improve your preparation a lot. Another thing is handmade written notes. Don't go online for looking for some already prepared notes. Notes should be prepared by yourself, and that will use maximum sense organs while writing, as I already said, isn't it? So again, when I said about analyzing small things, if you are analyzing a graph, studying a graph, analyze the x and y axis first. See what is there in the x and y axis. Immediately learning becomes very rapid, okay? Also, if you need conversions, you have to pay attention to them. And learning topics with visual presentation and imagination will increase your memory score. So try to do that as well, right? So when you have when you are attending the exam, or even when you are mock practicing, try not to answer all the questions which you are not sure of. So sometimes that is called as a red wire syndrome. Okay. So if you are attempting 25 questions due to the red wire syndrome in the part C, and 10 out of them are wrong, then you will get below 60 marks. But at least if you attempt 15 marks you are attempting and you get all of them right, then you will go score the 60 marks. Okay. So when you are browsing the internet, the habit of reading research papers, video statistics, all sort of tables, graphs, data models, data representation, try to analyze all of these. So beside understanding what the table means or what could be interpreted or concluded from that, the skill is quickly to read and scan those tables. Filter out only the required data, and correctly you should connect between statements to statements. Mentally you should connect the mismatched columns. You should take out the sentence from tables and vice versa. So this type of skill is highly required to clear CSIR. Okay. And handwritten notes, they are the best way to allow your brain to absorb and process the information you're gathering as you study. Yes, you already have your textbook lessons and classroom notes to help you learn different topics and concepts, but the process of taking in bits of information and then reproducing them in your own words helps in improving concept clarity and understanding. So this way you are not just mindlessly cramming information without actually processing as you go. You are actually studying these topics. Okay. So try to remember, as I said, you have to know the syllabus. That means identify which parts are the most frequently asked topics. Okay. So either you are going for CSIR net or for lecturership like JRF. So in both the cases, you must be having a deep interest in your field. So this exam basically tests your general aptitude and your grip on the subject. So exam is of medium to high toughness level, but what makes it really hard is that there is only a handful number of selections every year. So therefore you have to prepare in a very systematic manner to crack this examination. So you have to cover a significant portion of the syllabus in a small amount of time. Okay. So huge syllabus, but you have to break it into fragments. Select the units which are supposed to be prepared, and as I said, you can add the subtopics names also in the syllabus if necessary. Keep track, make a rough schedule or timetable, and accordingly keep on monitoring your progress along with it. Some other factors are also required. You need a bit of basics as well. So for CSIR specifically, you may require a bit of physics background also to study some techniques, and a bit of chemistry background also, 11th 12th level, because it will be helping in numericals, and also molecules are there. So if you don't understand what are molecules, how will you understand biomolecules, right? So if you lack, and obviously some basic mathematical rules like log rules, power rules, right? Basic division, multiplication like in brackets and everything you should be knowing. Otherwise it will be good for nothing if you lack in fundamental knowledge. Again, if any student is not aware of it, you can always develop. Don't worry that if you don't have it, what to do. You can always develop all these things. Okay. Now next is some other techniques that will give you immense benefits. So as I said, watch video tutorials. Again, check the authenticity. So if you are going for some coaching, then you have to check the coaching success record. What study materials they are providing, what is the quality of that, whether they are conducting test series or not, how often they are conducting test series, and how effective are they. So you can watch some testimonials or just check some record. You can ask your friends also who have attended coaching there. So success doesn't depend on whether you take coaching or not. Yes, definitely coaching helps. But the thing is, as I said, if you join coaching also, it's not that you don't have to work. So some of my students are actually like that. They think that they have joined coaching means they will be spoon fed. No, it's not like that. You have to work on your own as well. And both together will create magic. And that too in a very short amount of time. Okay. So occasional group study also helps sometimes. In fact, many of the times. So let's be honest, we all get tired of reading over and over again. And we become exhausted. So it is a phase of exam in all exam preparations. But how can you overcome this and not give a chance for you to be exhausted with many books that you have to learn from? So obviously, you will have to watch some animations, watch some videos. You have to check some proper competitive study material, isn't it? So learning becomes easy and it helps you cover a topic in much less time. And along with that, the teachers are already teaching you main topics. You will also have access to some videos or any as I said, flashcards or some animations. See if any such place is making all of this available to you. Okay. Teacher support for solving doubts. So, and also definitely, as I said, occasional group. So the large projects are assigned to teams and not to individuals, if you have observed any time. The reason is because a team of people, they balance the strength and weakness of the team members. So same applies to group study also. There could be students who are good at some topics that you are weak at. So they could help you study those topics and vice versa. So practicing question papers in a group It will help you to solve all the questions as well as understand them. But don't overdo it, okay? And don't waste your time in discussing unnecessary things in group study. So occasionally you can do it, dedicating most of the time for individual self-study. Efficient time management. Failing to plan is like planning to fail. So time is very important as of now. Utilize maximum of it. You have to push yourself, okay? Every time you will not feel like studying. Every time you will not feel like doing something related to this preparation. But you have to push yourself, right? Create curiosity in yourself. So the other day I was watching the news. Suddenly this group of medical researchers, directors, they came. It was showing on the TV. So one of them was from ICMR. So he was talking about IgM, IgD, giving basic information to the to the public of what happens when the infection is inside the body. So just imagine, we already know all this. How proud feeling is that? So that is the curiosity, knowing more about it. Or why not you yourself keep on educating so that you can tell others as well, right? But for that, you cannot spend your time on distractions. You have to manage your time efficiently. All right. Then attention to details. As I said, many of the questions they require, I told you to draw those flow charts, if you remember, tables and charts. So many different topic names I gave you. Gene names, protein functions, diseases, then the CDKs. So also microfilaments, microtubules, what inhibitors are there, antibiotics. So basically many of the questions in CSI require capture very accurate detail of spatial placement, like where is this process taking place, spatial location, and spatial distribution. Where is this protein present? Okay, or where is this molecule located? Of the biological structures or molecules, like different units of PS1 and PS2 in chloroplast. Exact direction of how the metabolites are transported through the channels or carriers. What goes out, what goes in. And exact placement of signaling network components. Where is the signal, on which cell, where is the receptor. Then the exact way or place a transcription factor is sitting upon the DNA. Where is it going and binding to the promoter? What is the sequence? This is what CSIR is all about. You have to go into depth. Okay. Which protein factor, how many turns, which way the turn is taking place, flipase, flopase, how exactly it works on cell membrane. So this is what you have to pay attention to, every detail. So don't you think writing is important now? So after a lot of research, we have come up with this information, consolidated information for you in one place. But this will be of no use if you don't inculcate these things in your daily plan. Simply attending a lecture will not help. Try to gain through the lecture. Okay. So pathway process directionality is also important for preparation. Strong and clear mental picture of directionality of various processes which are required. Like when you are reading about replication, transcription, translation related process. So 5-dashed or 3-dashed end of which of the strand it goes in which direction when it takes a loop form, which way the loop will take the turn, keeping which side the 3 and which side the 5-dashed end. Okay. Then in case of bacterial conjugation or transformation, what exactly is the direction or the polarity of transport? Orientation, in what way it is transferred. When you have a cell membrane organellar membrane bound protein, what is the exact location of amino and C terminus? And it requires accurate knowledge of sign conventions also while reading the sequences. Okay. Then reading and scanning skill. So scanning means very high reading. Skimming means skimming to something means very high reading. As I said, do not go word by word. Some people ask me, do we need to refer reference books if we have the study materials? That's a very silly question. You have to refer reference books, right? But the thing is, when you already have, you have seen the videos, you have seen the study material, read from the study material, then skimming through the reference books will become very easy. So you will be able to see you will be able to connect the dots, connect the statements, and in a very short amount of time you will be able to cover a lot of parts in the reference book. So good reading skill and scanning skill is also required. So remember the gears in the beginning of the chapter: skill, concept and memory. So I told you what concepts you have to develop. These things are those concepts only. Pay attention to them. And skills, I am already telling you. I have also told you how to remember memory, how you have to build up. You have to retain information by some visual aids, flowcharts, printout files. All this I have discussed. So questions are highly verbal and they are quite long, especially part C. Sometimes they look like an essay where the necessary points and data should be quickly found out. Okay. So there exists also a chance to miss out on an easy question. So beside the strategies to avoid missing an easy question, there is no way to escape developing a good skill in reading. Yes, that might be a disadvantage, but now that you have the NTA format, it's not, because all the questions are in one clicks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and that too, if you have not seen the question or not answered the question, it will be a different color. So you cannot miss out on a question. So better now you develop a good skill in reading. Okay. So problem solving skill, just have a look at these two diagrams. Okay. So a good practice on problem solving for each chapter is required. So some of the questions from both part C and part C, they do not judge how much you know. Rather, they will judge how apt you are in the problem solving. So if you give these questions to a person who have never studied biology, but they are very good in problem solving, and just tell them what is the mathematic or arithmetic mensuration principle required, they will be able to solve it. For example, these two questions. So first see these two questions, right? Now these type of problem solving skill would require very much, and there are questions that require both informative knowledge and problem solving skill. So here is an example which requires at the same time you have to know the problem solving skill and some informative knowledge also. What is this rate of maximum velocity? That is Vmax. Then what is the enzyme concentration? You have to express in moles. So these informations are required. Then what is turnover number? They are asking you to calculate the kcat. So all these are both knowledge, informative knowledge and problem solving skill. But here, simple. Genome is consisting of a single DNA. Base pairs are given. So how many moles will be there in the bacterium? They have already given the Avogadro's number. So we know in 1 mole of DNA, you will have 6 into 10 to the power 23 DNA molecules. So that means total how much moles of genomic DNA will be present in the bacterium if it is 10 to the power 9. This is clearly a mathematical question. Everything is given, right? Then here how much surface area of the cholesterol and sphingolipid. So how many of cholesterol and sphingolipid are present in the raft if they are in the ratio 2:1. So anybody will be able to solve it, right? And there are some informative questions where no guessing will be required. So still a good amount of thorough and detailed reading the books is important. So they are solely informative questions only. So guessing is not entertained, and if something seemed to happen, maybe the actual answer is totally another one, exception or abnormal. So usually almost nothing can be guessed. Whenever you read an exception to a general rule or structure or trend, you should note it. So informative questions, they require very strong mental image of those informations, which will only come through revision. So important questions may require knowledge of some numerical value like spectrophotometric absorption maximas, molecular sizes, sedimentation coefficient, kilodalton, then organelle pore size, membrane pore size, diameter, and knowledge even about specific sequence like some restriction enzyme sequences, then logical relationship like some data sets which are common overlapping in those data set and what features are different among them, where something occurs as well as something does not occur, that also need to be recalled. So here are some examples you can see. If you don't know, you don't know. Which type of RNA, which is the following are not transcribed by RNA polymerase. If you don't know that, you cannot guess. Okay. Then yes, you should not skip this part A. So they covered general aptitude questions that are important as part B and part C. Now they are very easy to score. Hence you need to spend some time practicing these questions also. You can get such questions from many places. Don't say you can't get aptitude question. As I said, you can have mobile applications also for the same. So as you practice more and more general aptitude questions, you will develop the skill and speed to crack part A. Okay. So the thing is, aptitude is not to be learned. It has to be developed. Alright. So when you are practicing a question, first read and understand carefully and understand it. So either you can do it by a short method if you know some techniques, shortcuts, or you go the long duration. So long duration is not suggested because it will take a lot of time. So you can use some shortcuts and diagrams and quick results, some formulas, and answer only when you are completely sure. Because aptitude is the one where you have many chance of making mistake. Note down some areas where aptitude questions are asked. You will see geometry, logical reasoning, probability, graphical questions, then profit loss, numbers, distance, trigonometry, calendar, date, clocks. So then speed, distance, boat, train, all this. Right now only I can give you some 100 topic names from which aptitude comes. So keep on studying them on rotation. One day you studied graphical numbers, next day you can study geometry, next day you can study distance, next day you can study probability, like that. So you should be revolving around them. Okay. So make your mind to solve any sort of question while answering in the examination, and try to solve the short time taking questions first and then the lengthy ones. You can use some tricks and formulas to solve this numerical problems, the aptitude section problems, and logical reasoning questions can be easy if we use our presence of mind. Okay. So match the following questions are also, these are some type of questions I have given. I mean, I have displayed on the screen what comes in CSIR. Okay. So these are sometimes the easiest ones to solve. Match the following, because targeting the qualifying marks and accordingly skipping unsure questions is the best way to avoid negative marks. So how should you select the questions where you will get maximum marks? So target more match the following and graph based questions, because sometimes they might not, graph based questions might not need prior knowledge, and this match the following, if you know one or two, the other ones might become easy. Okay. So oligomycin, it disrupts the ATP synthase. Okay, F0 particle. So obviously here the answer, so B1 is the only option over here. If you do, even if you don't know the others, still it is fine, like that. But here stands a chance. You have to know the particular one where you have only one option in one option available. Okay. Like for example, if you know this rotenone, that it prevents, you're sure of this, that it prevents the electron transport from iron sulfur cluster to ubiquinone. But that is D3 is present in one option also, two option also. So you have to know the right one. That depends on your luck obviously. But you can give this match the following questions a try. Okay. Then you have graph based questions. I have just displayed for you to know what you are preparing for. That is why I have said to keep the reference, to keep the previous year question papers. You will get an idea what type of questions are coming, and that will emphasize on your preparation. So when you flip through a question, see, many people will not be able to like understand what topic is this. But when you are going through gene regulation, you are studying the different operon concepts and everything. You come across this lac operon, immediately these all things will capture your mind. That yes, I had seen a question on this. So your preparation will be in a different angle then. And you might even come back to this question to see that if you are able to solve it now, like that. Okay. So sometimes they will give the information, you just have to pick based on visual identity. I mean visual analysis. That's why I said observation is very important. Pay attention to x-axis and y-axis immediately when you are in a graph or any representation is given. Right. Then you have true or false combination statements. These are very tricky ones, and sometimes they are worst when in a particular unit they give the questions from many subunits together. So one time a unit 1 question was there in which protein, one statement was of protein and amino acid, one statement was from carbohydrate, one statement was from lipids. So many times students ask me whether they can do selective study. So that is not applicable, okay? Selective study of some subunit. If you are preparing a unit then ensure you have prepared all the subunits properly, so that at least something you will know about it. Okay, if it comes in combination question, studying other units will not be then helpful if you don't know a particular thing. Alright. Sometimes they will ask you which option is correct. Sometimes they will ask you which is incorrect. They might not bold it all the time. So you have to pay attention. Okay. So sometimes they may also give you like this option. Like pick up the one with only one wrong statement. That again becomes very difficult. Try to avoid such kind of questions. You pick up the questions which are easier first. Alright. Generally, we suggest the order of answering should be part C first, then part B, then part A. Because part C is the most scoring. So why not answer maximum maximum questions from it first. You can use some 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes to attend that. And try to at least secure some good marks from part C. Then you can go to part B and part A. Part B doesn't take time. It's direct answers. And last you can keep for some part A. Some just minimum questions which you are pretty sure of to answer. Sometimes you will see repetitive statements like this. So you can see here the same statement, just that proton or neutron is different. Now most of the time it is like this, that one will be correct, other will be not. It might be possible both are incorrect, okay? And both correct very rarely. It's not possible actually, but very rarely in some statement might be there. So most of the time it will be either one is wrong, one is correct. So why not approach the question from that point of view, keeping this in mind. For example, here this is correct, B is correct. So A cannot be correct. So if B is correct, then either 2 and 1 is the option. Now, if A is not correct, then A and B cannot be together, which means second is the correct option. You don't even have to go to D and E like this. So question selection is very important in the exam paper also. Preparation is one thing, but knowing what you are preparing for, that's why I displayed these questions. Sometimes you will get combination questions. So when I am talking to you regarding your syllabus, unit selection, you should know that you should select your units wisely. For example, this question, it talks about liposomes, which is part of unit 2, the lipid compositions and everything. And then they are talking about the molecules, phosphatidylcholine, cholesterol, which are part of unit 1. So both information is required, and that is why it may require studying both the units. Okay. Then another example, genetics and plant is given together. Definitely, as I said, genetics is applicable almost every other unit, isn't it? So that try to study at least the first, second, third and 8th unit. This is minimum what you can do. 1 and 13 is very, very common in the techniques, because techniques are mostly to identify these biomolecules, and obviously unit 1 comes when it comes to their structure and function. Alright. Then you have another aspect for exam preparation, which is revision. So we say that studying without revision is not studying at all. We totally believe it. Okay. So some people just keep on studying and studying and studying without any revision. Zero chance is there that you will clear the exam. Not even one question you will be able to attend in the exam. You will be totally confused, totally tensed. So what is revision? You will have to also do the revision depending on the topic where you stand. You have to categorize the topics like in weak, medium, strong, and accordingly you designate your time. You can prepare a checklist of the critical topics for the last few days. Like for example, any antibiotic sensitivity test, HAT selection, like this some topics you can just keep. Ganglioside, acyclovir, or this band 3, RBC membrane, inside out vesicles. Like this some topics you just mention which are critical, then cell division regulation, cell cycle regulation, right? Which you want to do in the last few days, because you have to retain those informations. Divide your day in 2 segments at later stages. One will be for unit content revision and another will be question solving. Okay. And definitely parallelly mock tests also will be running. Right. So another unconventional way of preparation is that you just take a previous year question paper, solve all the questions, whether you have prepared that unit or not, So take a question, try to solve it. If you're not, take help from teachers or tutors and get the concept behind it. Not only the solution, but the detailed explanation of that concept. So like that way, just imagine from one question paper, how many concepts you will learn. And not only that concept, but also some related concepts related to that question. So tips for a rock hard, solid preparation. You have to practice mock tests, previous year question paper. You can take some other exam papers also. DBT, ICMR, all that you can also use. And GATE. And revision on a daily and weekly basis. Okay, so on daily basis also one time I'll keep it for revision, and weekly 6 days I will study and 1 day dedicated for revision and practice test. So it's about revising little, but often you have to revise. You have to do it, just do it. Revision, just do it. Best of all. So one technique is that study once, revise thrice. That is the ratio. Try to follow it. So answer the paper in a fixed time and see how much you are scoring if you are going for mock test. Create an exam-like environment. You isolate yourself out, keep a timer, keep water bottle, and try to finish the required amount of questions in the given time. So after you have given the exam, you have to analyze each question and study the theory part corresponding to that. Also see what kind of questions can be asked for the other 3 options. This has personally helped me. Okay. So when you are giving the mock tests, the other 3 options are there, right? See what questions can form from that. Also, when you are studying from any study material like any slide or something, if any lecture you are watching, so from that slide you just review what kind of questions can be possible. Make questions. Like what if you were the question paper setter? Then from the given slide, what is visible, what kind of questions you can give. This really helps, okay? Because you are kind of mentally prepared for the different approaches of a topic. So this way you can finish a paper in 2 or 3 days and move on to the next question paper set. Keep on doing this. So once you finish all the sets, you will start seeing a trend of portions or topics repeating in the next question paper, which will help you revise portions of significance. So this is the strategy which really works. Within 3 months, you can learn a lot from this technique. So as I said, just giving the exam is not enough. Attending tests quest is not enough. Reviewing the question is the most important part. Ensuring that you know all concepts behind those questions. Many students don't know this. They say, yes, I practice questions. But did you even go back to see whether you had attended it correct or not? Whether your answer was right or wrong? And if it was wrong, what was the correct answer? What was the explanation? Did you check on it? Maybe the answer would be no. So performance review is extremely important as well. Okay. So after you have tested yourself, you have to teach the material to somebody else. That really helps, as I said. So this has been found to help aid memory and recall. So it is called as a protege effect. Teaching someone else requires you to learn and organize your knowledge in a clear and structured manner. So try to schedule some lessons with your friends also if you are if you have studied one particular topic, right? So that's what, do share your knowledge, put your phone away. So evidence shows that if you spend more time texting and using social media, you will get lower results. So researchers found that the mere sight of the phone, if you just put the screen on, it was enough to reduce a person's ability to focus. So phone out of sight, out of mind. Testing yourself. It is one of the most effective way to improve your ability to recall information. So when you are like getting up in the morning, you're brushing your teeth, why not think about something what you studied the last day? You test yourself. So what was that? What was that enzyme? What was it binding to? What was it regulating? Right? It is one of the most effective ways. It helps you to check for any gaps in your knowledge. Try to recall a thing. Definitely what you have studied before, maybe 20% of it you will be able to recall if you have studied the first time. That is why I said 3 revisions for one time study. So that you can recall at least 60-70% of it. Okay, so practice papers provide a good starting point, as well as quizzing yourself at the end of the revision session. Okay. And don't go crazy with highlighters just because you're marking all the portions of highlighting. You're basically not doing anything, okay? Highlighters only isolate some single piece of information. So you will learn and recall information better if you connect it to other pieces of information. Like if you are studying something in Unit 1, you should be able to relate it with if you're studying anything in Unit 4, that is cell signaling, in that if any molecule is there, signal and receptor, they are binding with complementary binding. Try to go back to Unit 1 where you have studied stabilizing interactions in macromolecules. You should be able to relate pieces of information. That is useful. So some more tips. Make a revision timetable as well. Not just preparation timetable, but revision timetable also. So it helps set your time management. Write down how many exams you have and on how many days you have them. So like the tests, mock tests which you have planned for. Then adjust your study accordingly. You may want to give some exams more time than others, so find a balance that works. Think positively. So remind yourself, that's why I told you to make a workspace and write some positive notes in it. So remind yourself on how you overcame previous setbacks. Definitely you have got some in your life and you have overcome them. So remind yourself continuously that you are a very strong person. So this will help you deal with future challenges and also keep you calm. So view the exam as an opportunity or as a challenge. You have been given a game, you have to do this, you have to complete this, okay, like a challenge. And don't compare yourself with others. Never do that. Everyone's different and everyone study differently. So focus on yourself and you keep on tracking yourself, how much you have followed your schedule. Instead, focus on what you can control, the amount of study or the way of study. And take regular breaks. As I said, a smart student doesn't run marathons. He takes short study portions. So if you were training for a marathon, you wouldn't try to run for 24 hours a day. Likewise, studies also have shown that long-term retention of knowledge, taking regular break really helps. So everyone's different. So develop a study routine that works for you and don't feel guilty about being out in the sunshine instead of hunched over textbooks. It's okay if you have not completed a portion. Don't trouble yourself to complete it within that day. Yes, do push yourselves, but don't stress yourself. There's a difference. Get enough sleep and drink enough water. Keep yourself hydrated. Very essential for your brain to work. Your life science students, I need not tell you that. Because it's best to make sure you drink plenty of water throughout your studies and even on the exam day. And another thing is sleep. So plan ahead. Do not cut down on your sleep. And don't overuse some energy drinks in effort to stay awake. Let your brain work naturally. Okay. So when you feel tired, go and sleep. Take some rest. So you have, as I said, taking regular breaks, being holed up in your room till you have finished all the assigned tasks of the day. It may seem like the right way to get more done in less time. But actually in reality, it proves counterproductive. So on the contrary, if you take regular breaks, it can help enhance productivity and focus. Instead of aiming for a single 6-hour sitting, you can divide your study time in smaller spells of 40 to 60 minutes each. And at the end of each session, you take a 5 or 10 minutes break. And have fun, okay? Go around, walk around, drink some water, have a quick snack, talk to someone. So it's a good idea to use a stopwatch also if you cannot remind yourself to take a break. And then again resume studying very quickly after that, not that you spend the rest of the day in break only. And at the end of each day, you reward yourself with a job well done. If you have managed to meet your today's goal, you indulge in a fun, relaxing activity of your choice, what you like to do. This will motivate you to keep going and set you up for a fresh start for the next day. Okay. Also, these small things help. Use sticky notes and stick to your workplace. And take 15 minutes breaks. Use colorful pens and highlighters, but again not too much. Chat with friends about studies. See if you can find a platform where you can connect with other students who may be taking help or who are also preparing for CSIR, who are taking coaching, right? So you can create a platform, and you can join a platform, such a platform if it is available. Like for example, in Biotechnica we have Biotechnica Connect, where students can interact with each other. Okay. So read instead of writing, or write instead of reading. That's what. Change your preparation way. If writing is not working, read for some time. If writing is not working, read for some time. Okay. Or reading is not working, write for some time. You can change your study position if you are getting bored with your workplace, and definitely make a checklist and tick it off. Put on comfortable clothing. Manage your time and divide your study hours in small blocks. Get healthy snack and plenty of water. And arrange all your materials. What you are studying from, you should not just study here and from here and there. Before starting your day, you should know that this is the part, from here I am going to learn this. And organize your textbooks and throw away any unnecessary papers lying around. So see all this colorful papers showing which point is where. Turn off any distractions, keep them absolutely away, and take break and have fun. Smile for a while. Okay. Call your home. Talk to your folks. Call any best friend. Okay. Call your cousins. Talk to them. So try to make somebody laugh. These are small things. Don't forget to be a human. Alright. Yes, we are talking many serious things here, but don't forget to be a basic human. Help others. Think about others. Okay. That way you will also feel satisfied. So the thing is, success, the harder you work, the luckier you get. That's what. There is nothing called as luck. Okay. If you keep on sleeping, your graph will go like that. Your graph will also sleep. And if you are excited and energetic about your career, there is no limit. It will get out of the screen. Okay. So there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. There is no shortcut in getting success. That is the mantra of a smart student. Okay. So if you need any further assistance, you want to share your success or any other story, anything, you can call us. You can subscribe to Biotechnica Times newsletter. They will keep you updated with all informations in your field, recent updates, everything. Stay in touch with us, your only best bio resource. So if anything is there, you can call us. Thank you so much, students. It was lovely interacting with you. Thank you for your time, patience and attention. I will love to address your queries. You can write to us, and definitely if you have any other queries, you can even mail us. All right. Thank you. Over to my host, Shekhar sir. Thanks everyone.
All right, welcome back, and I hope you liked our session. I know thoda sa late ho gaya, it became a little longer, but never mind. I hope you enjoyed the session. So thanks a lot for attending. हम आपका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहते हैं. Thanks a lot for joining in. Now is the time to tell you some important announcement. So we have this CSIR net crash course, like I told you, which started 17th of April 2020. To enroll, you can call these numbers or you can email us to info@biotechnica.org. Now after a short while from now, I will be sending a feedback email. मैं एक email आपको personally भेजने वाला हूँ, जिसमें कि आप हमें feedback दीजिए कि आपको ये webinar कैसा लगा, how did you like it, please rate us, okay? और अब समय हो चुका है. Now is the time to give you the gift. So I'm pinging you a link right now in the comment box. That's the link to download your gifts. Okay. It was nice interacting with all of you. I hope कि आपकी सारी doubts, I hope we were able to clarify all of them, all the doubts. But yes, you know, इतने सारे लोग attend कर रहे थे और lot of people will attend it later in the recording. तो what I wanted to tell all of you is, ऐसा नहीं है कि webinar end हो गया तो हमारा relationship खत्म हो गया. Webinar was a beginning of a new relationship where we invite you to join our crash course. अगर आप नहीं कर सकते हो कोई बात नहीं, email us, email your doubts, whatever questions you have. We will try our best to answer you, okay, and give you the best services possible at Biotechnica. Lockdown बाहर हुआ है. Let's use this lockdown to open up our minds to learn new things for all of us. With these thoughts, I wish you good luck and Good night. See you soon in our next webinar, which will be there very shortly. We really enjoyed interacting with all of you, but I'm really sorry if in case we were not able to meet your expectation. Whatever it is, do feel free to reply to the email which I'm sending you like 30 or 40 minutes from now, okay? And we'll be in touch. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.